marketing BS when you side price wash. Synth quiz and news. So sit back, relax. Enjoy your favorite crew. Synth Geekery show. Synth Geekery's where it's at. So join the channel and come on for a chat.
Hey, hello everyone. Jeez, I'm dark. There we go. Shed some light on the matter. Welcome to Synth Geekery, episode 305. It's a lovely, freezing cold Saturday here in Perth, Western Australia. If you hadn't gathered, that's where we're streaming from. Whereabouts are you guys in the world? Let us know in the chat. We're streaming on a couple of different platforms. We've Facebook Live. We've got Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Synth Geekery, if you're wondering what the name of that channel is. Plus, we're also on the illustrious YouTube on the Ranzee channel. So nice to have you there. So jump into chat if you can and say g'day. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what sort of stuff you've been doing synth-wise, and join us in the chat, as she says on the intro. Well, the AI does anyway. Hey, boys, how you going?
Good, thanks, mate.
Hey, Chris is on my right. I'll just quickly go across. We'll go Chris first. How are you, Chris?
Good, thanks, mate. Not
Awesome.
bad week.
Awesome. We'll go to Darren. How are you, Darren?
Good day.
Actually, that's not Darren. What's going on there? Let's fix that.
Yeah, yeah, good day. I've got electricity and a new chair.
Ooh, beautiful. A new chair. Everything's going up in the world for you. We don't have Ian this week. And big hello to Andy. I fixed your title, by the way, Darren.
Hey, guys. Happy to be back. I feel like crap last week, so.
Yeah, good to see that you're back, mate. Glad you're feeling
good
better.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so Synth Geekery show, if you're wondering, is all about synthesizers, drum machine sequences, music technology, Eurocrack, as some people call it, modular synths. We're going to be doing an interesting show this week. There's hardly any news, which is good, because we can actually, play with stuff for a change instead of crapping on about products that never seem to ever get to our desktops or our racks anyway. So it's good. So this week's little sort of montage, you guys would have seen it. Here it is here, just to remind you. We got a Behringer Pro 1. You can actually have a original Pro 1, but I think the Behringer Pro 1 would be better because it's got more CV connectivity. You've got a Behringer 960 sequencer, and this guy here next to me, Chris, he's invented this awesome module called the GP82. Now you've got those three things. Now what? What are you going to do with it? And we actually had a question during the week. We'll get into that. Chris and I are going to sort of pick it apart and we'll see what we can come up with. Both of us have got all three things, so it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully you guys will find it interesting anyway, because at that sort of level, what we've got is a marriage between a desktop synth and eurorack, and a lot of people actually do rate the 960 sequencer from Behringer. And what's going to be cool about it is what the GP82 is going to bring as a marriage. Well, those three things. It's kind of like the GP82 is like the secret sauce in the sandwich. All right, we are going to get stuck into our regular segments, guys. You guys all ready to go? We're going to start with Funny Side, I think, because we'll do synth quiz in a minute when I get myself all set up and ready. Here we go. Hey, and we got a spare spot which we'll put Chris in, I think, down the bottom. Here we are, Funny Side. What have we got here, boys? We've got the Robbie Puricelli special. Yamaha DX7 for kids. Enjoy it. This kid's not. Sorry about that, Robbie. Yeah. Yes.
It's appropriate the kids wearing the red shirt since FM was invented at Stanford. So
All right, we'll put Chris there. Beautiful. All right. That one hit the deck like a sack of spuds, didn't it? Yes. All right, let's keep going. Do you have any family history of mental illness? Well, my cousin has a room filled with modular synthesizers that he makes obnoxious sounds with all day, and he only stops long enough to pierce crap and run to the Del Taco for his daily supply of burritos and fries. That's very American, that one. That is very
that's
American.
a regional thing. There's no Del Taco in this area. So.
Yeah, it's like
Exactly,
like Texas, isn't it? Del Taco.
LA has Del Taco.
Oh, LA. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, we have Taco Bell here, so we could probably edit that, and it would be Australian. And I think Taco Bell's in the UK, isn't it too, Darren? Somewhere?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, indeed. Anyway, moving right along, that one was about as exciting as this guy. Huh? Right, next one. Let's have an affair, guys. Darren, you had an affair with your Juno, like this guy. Anyone for a Coldplay concert? By the way, hitting the stores is the Lego box. Just thought I'd bring that out. Pretty good, that one. Sorry for the kids that are under 18. I don't know what's so 18 plus about it, but maybe it's the theme. Maybe it's the theme. Anyway, these guys are smiling at this stage. In about a second after they've realised they're not smiling anymore. Chris has already got his expression on his face. Good on you, Chris. Right, not the Chris here, by the way. Babe, I want to travel. Okay, I am looking for an Oberheim OBX 750 miles away. Let's say that one is an OBX affair as well. What do you say, guys? All right, have we got a poll to do? Yes, we do. It's released into the chat. Guys, vote for your favourite meme of the week in the chat if you can. It started, just exclamation mark, vote 0, or space, and then a 0 for the DX7, 1 for the mental health issues, 2 for the synth affair, 3 for the Lego affair, and 4 for the OBX affair, which you can see on your screen. Lots of affairs this week. Indeed. Chuck your votes in and see how you go. Exclamation mark, vote, space, and the number. So it starts at 0 because it counts from 0. If anyone's done computer science, you'll understand why. Anyone who doesn't, I don't know, can't help you. Yes, here we go. Votes are pouring in. There's so many people voting today. Awesome. Good job. Keep going, guys. We'll let that cook away for a couple of minutes while we come back to us. What did you guys think this week? Coldplay concerts?
Oof, that's a tricky one.
Yes.
That whole event is hilarious. Just the whole Coldplay thing.
Jeez, it hit social media really quickly, didn't it?
I know. Yeah. Like
Well, they were just too adorable. The cameraman would have glazed right over them if they weren't so adorable, right? So
if they just kept going, kept dancing or something, that no one would have known. No one would have thought it was anything weird.
Yes.
yeah.
It was the reaction that got everyone going, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was it's scared deers in the headlight moment that probably did them.
Yeah.
Well, they have there's a thing in I forgot what city it's in, the Jumbotron, where the famous thing is people kissing and stuff like that at like baseball games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Or basketball games.
Yeah, they do them at basketball games as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got stuck one day. I took my daughter to the netball. This is a few years back now when she was in primary. And, there was, everyone dance in the crowd. Everyone get up and dance. Yeah, I was waiting, sort of warming up the whole crowd, right? There was about 15,000 people at this netball game. And here I am dancing away. Next thing you know, I'm on the big screen. It's Dad Cam. Look at Dad dancing. And I'm like, oh, my God. I went beetroot.
Yeah.
Yes. It was...
that's great.
Yeah. My daughter thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I bet she did. All right, let's release the poll, and we'll say good day to the chatties while we're at it, actually. Let's release the poll. We'll put a stop to the poll. Quick, last vote, 1 second. No one wants to do it. Cool. Stop. Done. Here is your answers, people. You can no longer vote. There is a tie between DX7 for Kids and OBX Affair. Everyone completely avoided Coldplay. I can tell you, no one liked the mental health one. Funny about that.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Too close to home.
Yeah. Someone was a bit salty about that one. Anyway. Synth That's the second week in a row now we've had two that have got the gong. Anyway, big hello to chatties. Just wanted to quickly shout out to the channel members, which you guys will see with their lovely little icons in the chat. It is really cheap to join the channel too, guys, and it does support the show. I do have bills to pay for the show. Anyway, we won't go into it, but Sean's there. Big hello to Sean. And who else do we have in there? Jesus, slim pickings today. What's going on? What's happening? Where's everyone gone? Is there something on?
Yeah.
They're getting ready for a Coldplay show.
Keith and Watford's Coldplay show. Keith and Watford's there, and Mr. Spong has just arisen from the dark hollows of his shed. But hello to all the other chatties. You guys can see yourselves in there. And also a big shout out to the patrons as well. But yeah, anyway, let's keep going. I think one of the things you guys can do during the week, if you kind of want to, continue the chat, is you can jump onto Discord. Discord is bit.ly/Ranzee Discord. I don't do a discord.gg link, guys. Someone asked me about that. It costs me money to do that, just to have a discord.gg link, and I think it's completely pathetic when I can just use bit.ly and it's free. It does the same job. If you guys want to join us as a video caller on the show, we do have Zoom. Zoom is bit.ly/Ranzee Zoom. In fact, I will pin the link to the Zoom. Where's the Zoom? It'll be pinned in the YouTube chat. If you guys are on any of the other platforms, you guys are just going to have to type it in manually, I'm afraid, because I don't have the technology to do everything. I could probably... I could do it manually myself. bit.ly/Ranzee Zoom. That should end up in Twitch. There you go. That's in Twitch. All right. That's helping everybody. Yeah, join us on Zoom if you want to. There's nobody in there at the moment. We do have space for 100 people, so it's really not a problem. You don't even need to show your face. Also, what else we got? We have got this, which is Streamlabs. If you guys want to send us a tip, it goes straight into my PayPal account, and Streamlabs only take 3% cut, which is a lot different to YouTube. YouTube takes a 30% cut. So do a tip through Streamlabs. It does take you to a different browser window, but it is worth the effort, and you'll get an awesome little thing that comes up on the screen. It's pretty cool fun to do, so do that. What else can we do? You can click like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff if you like. That does a free thing for you that can get you involved. Right, let's get stuck into news. There's not a lot, so don't be too disappointed because it's slim pickings this week. Indeed, we'll start off with some interesting products that have come from the other side of Asia. Now, I've got another person missing in the little thing. I'll put Darren in there, actually. Where are you, Darren? Darren, you're here somewhere? Yeah, you're here. I know you're here, but you're not there.
It's my new chat. It's probably
you're here, but you're not there. How about be there? There you go. You can be there.
There
cool. Hügelton Instruments, the K102E is what it's written there. But really what it is, it's a compound oscillator. It does look very, very, very interesting, this thing. There is a little tiny video that I can show you guys to sort of get us excited about it. I'll get that going in a sec, but what I wanted to do firstly is just give you guys a rundown, like I like to do, as a summary of what we're looking at. It is obviously a eurorack module. It's not a different format. It's definitely a eurorack module. It is, what was I going to say? Japanese is a country where it's been developed from, in Kobe or Kobe. They have this kind of island synthesis philosophy. So it features dense animated harmonics, and it's achieved through combining multiple digital oscillators via phase modulation, crossfading, and additive mixing. And with it's kind of like a retro inspired panel. It kind of does look like a bit of a early Korg, early Yamaha type sort of layout, doesn't it? And it does use modern DSP to do it, but it does kind of, give you a nice little sort of sound. What you do is you get a triple oscillator architecture. You've got two main digital cores, A and B. You can blend them together, and you get the third auxiliary oscillator or as a usable LFO for modulation. So you've got the option for the third. It does phase modulation, PM. As you guys know, FM is what a lot of people call PM because they think the DX7 is actually an FM synth, when it's really more a PM synth. Multiply is the additive side, and crossfade options. So you got 8 waveforms. Now, by the way, this is a bilingual module, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to show it today, because I don't often see when people do bilingual stuff on the panel. So you've got Japanese writing, and you've got English writing, and you've also got symbolism on there. So it kind of caters for everyone, which I think is actually pretty decent. Anyway, we'll have a look at that in a sec. Where was I at? I was at getting the video ready, which I'm about to do. Does it want me to log in? Please don't ask me to log in. Thank you. Good. Right. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look at the video, and I'll get back into the details of what this does in a second. It's quite an engineering video, just warning you. Before I ruin it for everybody, you guys are going to have to check out the rest of that. I do kind of feel like you've got a mix of DX7 sounds and Casio sounds in there.
Hopefully that was a prototype, because those knobs look very, very wobbly.
Weren't they wobbly? Yes, they were.
Sounded great, though. It was cool.
Now, just a couple of little things before we get stuck into the comments. I just want to tell you guys, it does take up 20 HP. It is a very vastly wide user interface on that. I think he's got a lot of space that he could probably compact a bit if he wanted to, but that may be a choice that he's gone with, but it is very, very wide, I felt anyway, personally. Probably could have got away with like a 12 HP module maybe instead. Now, availability on this thing is kind of weird. I'm trying to work it out. So according to the website, it was released on the 10th of March, then they've officially unveiled it and they use Matrix Synths as a website to unveil it, which is an interesting site to start. There's a demo video which has just come out on the 14th of July, and they're not going to release it in Japan until their summer, which is coming up, in about 3 months' time. So there's no pricing. Everything's sold out officially. However, the guesstimate of price will be around between $300 to $500 US. I would hope it's not $500 US. This is just a guesstimate price, by the way. It has I don't think it has any official bearing at all. All right, thoughts, guys?
Well, it sounds nice.
Yeah, it did sound quite nice. I think I agree with Rant. I think the panel is way too busy. I just think it's design visual design for the sake of visual design. You know, it's perhaps the sign of someone who was kind of a bit bored. But it's cool. It's just a bit, yeah. It does seem a little bit busy. I hope those knobs are better than that, because they did look very wobbly.
Yeah. I must admit, that's the
that makes
wobble.
that
I've
makes
not
me
seen that wobble.
yeah. I do know those knobs. You can get them at Thonk. They're used quite a lot by Behringer, those knobs, but they
They're very
look
standard.
Like, I suspect they've been shoved onto the top of some tall topper normal pots without the bushing, which gives them some stiffness. So I think, yeah, hopefully they'll choose a different one when they go into production. That would be my advice to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe he
But
hasn't
yeah, no,
secured the
it's-
lock nut on it. Could have done that as well.
Yeah, those sliders
Yeah, I
don't need
don't-
that much room width.
The
They
sliders
could
are
be
cool.
much slimmer. So, but I mean
the sliders are
the
cool.
area they have, they don't need that much room. That would make the module much skinnier.
That's what I worked out, Andy. I thought if you could shrink the slider space, I reckon you could get this into 12 HP.
Totally, especially the top 3 sliders are just crazy wide.
Yeah, it's too wide. And the guy who made this, he doesn't have big hands either, because Japanese and everything, they don't have massive hands usually. He's not a sumo wrestler anyway, put it that way. So yeah, I don't know. Sound wise, guys, we're not really seeing anything groundbreaking. Would you agree?
No, but it was not disappointing.
No, but it sounds
I
cool.
mean, we've had digital
Yeah, it's good.
digital modules on the show before where it's looked very impressive but sounded quite meh.
Yeah.
At least this one kind of had some bit of backbone to it.
I feel that if you know how to create this, you're not going to go and buy this because you've already got the tools, right? But someone who wants a module that does this in one, this is probably, more exciting for them.
I could see
Yeah,
this.
Make
as
Noise
a
Tell
fun
Harmonium
module.
has a great CZ mode in it. It's if you want those sounds, it's cool.
Well, there's been a fair bit of CZ or phase distortion stuff. Chris will remember over the last probably year or two. It's probably quite the in fad thing at the moment for eurorack. I feel for oscillators anyway.
Yeah, agreed.
Wavetable, granular, and phase distortion seem to be the fads. Yeah. Anyway, what are the chatties saying about it? I don't know, but let's find out. Probably not a lot. There's not a lot of chatties today. I don't know what's going on. Did we say something to offend them? Probably not.
The Bristronica, is it Bristronica? Something's on tonight? No, that's later, isn't it? Not
There is
Gears.
something on. There is definitely something
Yeah,
on.
there is something on in the UK, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of our audience is UK, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, but
That's, but sometimes we get this.
we get this as a result.
Saturday is,
All right, shall we move on to the next product? And this is all that's left. I'm moving out of Eurorack and into synthesizers.
Yeah,
Darren?
Gearfest's on.
Gearfest, right.
Yeah.
There you go. Next one is this, which is
Anyway.
This is a second suck of the salve, guys. Not a bad second suck of the salve, because the first suck of the salve was a keyboard version of this, and this is a modular version. Or module version. Sorry, I should have said module version.
Desktop version.
desktop
Yeah.
module.
Anyway, that is that is the second suck of the salve. There we go. But I don't mind, because Argentinian manufacturers of synths don't get a lot of we don't hear about them a lot. So let's talk about the Bree6 by GSMusic. It is a polyphonic analog synth. And if you guys don't remember, it was previously announced on our show on episode 263. So we are a fair way away from that. The release date for this particular module was Superbooth, I believe, March, April or something. What was that? No, Superbooth wasn't March. What was it? Something else was around March. I forget what it was. There was something around March. They released it then.
NAM?
No, NAM is January. So it would have
It
been,
was the beginning of the
might have been Knobcon. It was definitely US based because they're Argentinian. Anyway, so the price for this thing is $9.99 for the desktop module. There is a 37 key keyboard version, which is expected, which we showed on the episode 263. I won't go back and through it again. Anyway, both of them are exactly the same. Desktop module probably would be more exciting for a lot of us because you can rack mount it. It's desktop module. It's not overly massive. 6-voice full analog polyphony. Each voice has a single VCO and a sub oscillator. So it's a little bit lacking, I feel, in the oscillator section.
Yeah.
So it's kind of more like a SH101.
Yeah.
Waveforms, you can get sawtooth pulse with pulse width modulation plus square wave and sub oscillator, and does the 1 octave lower. So to me, it's kind of hinting towards a 3340 oscillator here.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? With that particular selection of waveforms in that order.
Yep.
It's a bit of a giveaway.
No triangle on there, which you can access on the chip if you tried. Anyway, maybe it's not. You've got a 4-pole 24 dB ladder filter, which is with resonance. As you can see, there's a resonance control there. There is keyboard velocity tracking and modulation in forms of quite a bit. Envelope, LFO, mod wheel, and aftertouch implemented in this. 2 ADSR envelopes, as you can see. One is assigned to the filter and the other one is assigned to the VCA, but can be also assigned for other things. LFO is a single LFO, which disappoints me again. Single oscillator, single LFO. I really do prefer it when synth manufacturers give us a little bit more on the LFO stuff, because you've quickly run out of modulation duties with one LFO, and it does kind of, you can map it to multiple things, but you can't have different rates and things like that. That's the thing. But it's just your basic LFO with triangle, ramp, square, and sample on hold. Now they talk about sample on hold here, 0.1 to 100 hertz, which is interesting. I don't often see that. You don't often see them actually reference what the sample on hold range is. So that's kind of cool. There is some effects. There's a stereo ensemble chorus effect and a delay, which goes up to a second. They are digital digital DSP effects. But they're saying they're kind of analog, ish in their
Low quality,
design.
low res,
High res, they're saying.
high res. Okay.
You can store up to 512 presets on this. It's MPE ready for those playing along at home with the MPCE stuff. I know Ian would like that. Full MIDI polyphony with expression compatibility, works with things like Osmos and Linstrument and GeoShred and others. So the others would be like the Rolly Seaboard, that one.
Rolly Seaboard.
Rolly Seaboard, that's it. There is a little video of their channel announcement, so I should be allowed to play this without any dramas. Let's get that running for you guys. Doop. Doop. So there's a little unboxing thing at the start, which I think is cool. You guys can check that out, but let's get stuck into it. By the way, just before we listen to that, just have a look at his little synth cave there, guys. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Isn't that beautiful? So, well done to that guy, by the way. please turn the effects off. Anyway, guys, that's the Bree6. It does have built-in effects, so he was showing off the effects, I guess. In a way, it would have been nice to hear it without them, though. Darren, did you kind of get a Juno vibe out of that a little bit? Obviously, it's without the chorus, but yeah.
I did, actually. I seen this a little bit ago. I quite like it with it being nice, small desktop synth. Yeah, I quite did get a bit of a Juno vibe, but then again, anything that's sort of going in that area is always going to remind you of a Juno vibe anyway. But I quite liked it. Like I say, I mean, could have played a bit more without the effects, but with it being built-in effects, it's worth showing you what the effects sound like in the actual unit anyway. But I quite like it. I know you shouldn't get hooked on the price. It's just a tad touch. But it is. I understand why it's expensive because it's only a small. It's only a small. Well, it could be a one-man band almost in Argentina, so I understand why it's expensive. But yeah, I quite like this. It's clean. It's neat. It sounds, from what we can hear, sounds nice. So I'm. What are the connections on the back? Does it give us a picture of that?
We'll get the website up if you like, and we can have a look. Where are we?
I think I did see it. I can't remember now, though.
There's definitely pictures.
Considering there's an effects mix knob, he should have been playing with that, so we get a wet-dry comparison. So
yeah.
There's the back there. Oh, it just clicked off for me. There you go. There's the back there. So you've got the DIN MIDI in, out, and through. USB Type B connector, which is always good. 12 volt DC with the center positive, if I can see that correctly. It's a little bit blurry. You've got a stereo output and normalized to left mono if you've got the single. Headphones on the back. Yeah,
nice and simple.
Is that a nod to Lord of the Rings, the Bree6? That was the town they go to.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's got the fern leaf, right?
Yeah. I think might be
is
in reference to plant species or something.
Yeah, it could be New Zealandish. Could be one of those New Zealandy type things. Could be. I don't know. We'll have to ask him. I have reached out to him to see if he'd say anything on the show, but not sure. But anyway.
By the way, it sounded really good on YouTube. They're getting the vMix problem again with the audio, so I just listened to YouTube. So
Yeah. Ditto. I tend to switch to YouTube when there's...
Yeah, nothing
especially
I can do
when
about
it's
that.
in stereo, because I don't get mono here for some reason.
Yeah, I'm going to have to sort that out. I'm not sure what's going on there.
It has that echo cancellation quality to it. It's cutting in and out.
Right. It's probably just the
Different
vMix Cool software that's doing it.
Yeah.
what else can I tell you guys about it? It is pretty small. It's only 36 centimeters by 12 by 67. So that's
and it's
6
metal case as well, isn't it? It's built quite
metal chassis. Yep.
I think that video shows it much better off than this press photo.
Yeah, I mean the press photo looks like it's a huge.
Bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it makes it look huge, and I think they've done some editing of it, which sort of betrays the fact that maybe they didn't get the pictures they really wanted, and they just had to make do. Particularly in the squareness of the LCD display, kind of is too square for that perspective.
Yeah. Well, I like that view
that's
there.
the blue one he's showing there.
There's two versions.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
black and a blue.
shape.
Yeah.
I like the blue one actually.
Personally, I've always liked desktop modules to have a slope to them because that means I don't have to slope it myself.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than trying to find something to prop it up just that little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing
like
nothing
the
worse.
Kai
than,
Force.
leaning over a synth for 20 minutes and realizing your back is sore is a real inspiration killer.
I was trying to read on their website whether you could rack mount it. I'm guessing that you could. It would require some pretty wide ears though, for 19-inch that is. And if it's eurorack rack compatible, not sure, because that doesn't really give it away. But the specs tell me that it's what did I say it was? Why did it just do that for me? I'm on a website and it's just dragged it off. It tells me, what did I say before? 6 centimeters by 36 centimeters by 12 centimeters. So the 6 centimeters would be the height, the 12 centimeters would be the depth. And Eurorack, what's Eurorack? A 3U?
80U is 40 centimeters.
Yeah, 12.8 centimeters is 3U, and that's 12.6. So you possibly could put it in a Eurorack. And let's having a quick look on his website to see if there's anything about Euro. No, there's not. Anyway, I mean that would kind of, it's a 12 volt synth, so it would probably be compatible to go on a power supply in a Eurorack. That I'm not sure if that's what you'd want to do with it. No, that's what I'm saying. It's not.
Yeah, it's a bit.
No ins and outs anyway.
36 millimeters. 360 millimeters. 36 centimeters would take up quite a bit of Eurorack. Be pretty decent. When you think about it.
Yeah, like until you got your massive cases, Randy, you didn't put your stuff in Eurorack, right? Your other modules, the big modules.
The only one that's in my big case is the 960 though, Andy. I don't put the other stuff. Okay. Yeah. So the other stuff I've got that's Eurorack compatible, I actually preferred a 19-inch racket.
Right.
And we've been through that. Anyway, 4 MIDI implementation with MPE, which I thought was good, and it sounded pretty good. Like you said, Darren, I think the price is a little on the sharp side, but that just could be that could
like
be
I said,
RRP.
Probably. Yeah, but like I say, it's just that little bit. I would really if I had the money, I would probably have to get one.
I think the Mark II should think about getting more modulation in there, as Rant said. Sure, they got the power. I think it's just the fact that they want to keep the panel simple, and they probably didn't want to put it in there, which sometimes people fall trapped to. I
think personally, I don't know, I can't be 100% on this, but I think the envelopes and the LFO, and obviously the effects definitely are because he says it is. I reckon they're digital.
Yeah, I would assume the same. Could be wrong.
A couple of things that kind of lead me to that would be it's more likely to be digital because you can see the graphic representation of the envelopes. Would be easier to do in a digital format other than passing it through an oscilloscope, which would be possible but not as easy. But yeah, for me, there was a couple of interesting things. If you go back and watch that video, guys, recommend you do, and there's a couple other videos around with some reviews as well. I thought there was some interesting behaviors with the envelopes. I'm not sure if that's just because you couldn't see him pressing the keys or not, but it just seemed like there was like a lag to it. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Did he describe the poly versus poly stereo? I saw that. That's kind of interesting. The voice mode. There's a poly and a poly stereo.
I think the poly stereo is probably just panning the voices left and right, alternatively.
Yeah, there was kind of there was 4 modes, wasn't there, Andy?
I definitely heard it. That's for sure. The voices panning.
It's in the LEDs on the panel. You can see a poly stereo. So.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just looking in his website now to see if there's anything about that. Obviously, it can be set to mono, like most polyphonic synths can. But what does that stereo one? And like you said, Chris, it's probably the panning.
Yep.
He obviously has some influence from Dave Smith, because I noticed he had a DS synth there.
Prophet 5, Prophet 6, yeah.
So that's probably what it is, Andy. Just a guess. You'd need to check it out, though.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I haven't seen that on a panel before, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of people obviously doing that now with polysynths. They're giving that voice spread thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you was giving it a thumbs part, I'd probably go thumbs up.
Good on you, Darren. That was
nice. Sounded good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, keep talking about it, guys, because I'm multitasking here.
And like you said, I do quite like the blue, because it's just slightly different than most other.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, and I've got a Raven here. It's similar blue, but I like it. But
I think the style of knobs and the blue work really well together. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it looks like I say, it looks clean, well built. Sounds like I say, what we can tell, sounds good. So everything's good.
Do those buttons have a lot of travel on them, or are they kind of clacky buttons? Can you tell?
Good question.
Yeah,
it looked really high end build to me.
Yeah,
Andy, that was my takeaway. Like when he was playing with the knobs and stuff, I was watching him select things, and I didn't really notice anything bad on that side of things compared to that previous eurorack module, right?
Exactly. It looked solid. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's...
Well, to be fair, the first time I touched a Buchla synth at NAMM 2009, I think it was, all the knobs are quite wobbly. So, and that was a very expensive synth.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. It's not always the reason.
Tell us in chat, by the way, guys, and chatties. Let us know if you guys have do you have a preference with polysynths? Do you like them to have multiple oscillators so that you can thicken up your voices and do things like unison and stuff like that? And detune them, and get all that sort of phasing and wobbly sort of effects, or do you actually prefer a single oscillator synth with a sub? There's plenty out there. Like we were playing with the Micro Brute last week. That's a single oscillator synth. This guy, he didn't really have like a mixing section on the oscillator, did he? It was like a selection, which kind of, once again, it led me to thinking that it might have been a 3340. But when you think about it, on an SH101, you can actually blend the oscillators on the...
Yeah, you got sliders for them.
Because it's got a mixer.
Yep.
I mean, the chip itself will just output... oscillators, as you guys know, they're just constantly spewing out the waveforms, right? So it's easy to pipe them through a little mixing section, and then you can actually...
You have to make room for the mixing.
You have to, yeah. So he doesn't have room on that, does he?
Yeah. And it's one step harder again to have the continuously variable potentiometer style oscillator shape selection like some of the Moogs do.
Yeah.
It's even more costly in terms of circuitry.
So a couple of guys in chat have said 2 oscillators per voice minimum is what their preference is.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same as well, with the exception of things like, the sort of classic Juno 60 or 106 is something kind of magical about that.
Well, it's got the chorus as well. But I think this is what I'm saying, if you had like a SH-101, if you had the ability to blend some of the waveforms together, that does tend to sort of give you a bit more functionality with the oscillators. What this will do is this will just give you a very traditional analog sound. Very traditional analog sound.
That's what's so great with the Mini Brute. You can mix all the oscillators like that. It's cool.
So, Chris, like you're saying, you're starting to build a list for a Mark II already. Multiple LFOs, mixing the oscillators. Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah,
But, no. The digital controlled components are the ones you should never skimp on. I know it's tempting to say, "Oh no," but we're being pure here. We got pure oscillators and pure single envelopes and pure single LFO because that was part of the sound. I don't agree. I don't think it's integral to the sound of a synth at how many LFOs it had, or whether it was an analog LFO versus a digital LFO. Low frequency.
Well, you could do Mini Moog style where you add a third oscillator and then have it optional as an LFO. So
yeah. Well, even that module we showed before had 3 oscillators on it. It's just a module, right? That's the other thing too. On this, I mean, obviously you can do things like frequency mod with the LFO depending on what type of rate it goes to. But what else can you do? Can you? It's because there's no second oscillator. You can't do a sync. You can't do a cross mod.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's leaving all those things.
I think that's why 2 is such a magic number. I kind of agree with the chat. 2 is kind of the minimum for these days.
Well, I kind of feel 3 is. I like 3 because then you can get away with one LFO, and then you can say, well, okay, I'll use the third oscillator as an LFO as well, as long as it's got the modulation implementation in it. So I'm a bit of a 3 person, probably Mini Moog influenced in that sense. And when you think about it, they've been designing 3 oscillators since Mini Moogs and before. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Micro Moog only had 1 oscillator, and it was kind of anemic, but
very thin, wasn't it? For that, the only thing that saved its grace was the fact that they used the standard Moog filter on it, which saved it a bit, and it gave it a couple of little extra things like filter tracking and that. But yeah, the Micro Moog was very thin on the ground, I felt. That's why I liked the sub range, the sub 37, the slim fatty, the sub fatty, all of those, because they had 2 oscillators. I don't know
the Rogue had 2. Yeah, so
the sub fatty might have. I can't remember if the sub fatty had it, but the slim and the little fatty definitely had, and the sub 37 definitely has. So for me, that's where you got to go. Right, we're going to do synth quiz. Let's play the jing. Indeed. We do have a quiz this week, guys. So there's slim pickings in the chat today. I don't know, everyone's disappeared, but we'll do the first clue. I've just picked a synth completely out of the sky, picked it, and I thought that's your first clue there. Sawtooth shape. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? You don't often see that, do you? Sawtooth shape. Obviously, it does exist, so do enjoy your first clue. A couple of other clues to come, and like I say, you can put your guesses into the chat. Just put my name to highlight it so I can see it. Otherwise, it will just get lost in the walls of text of chatting. And then put synth quiz, and then your guess. And you can have as many guesses as you like, but your first guess is the official guess. No prizes except for bragging rights. You've got to beat Wagoo. I actually haven't seen Wagoo in the chat, so you guys are in with a chance this week. There's no Wagoo. Wagoo didn't bring his posse with him.
His research team. Yeah.
He's usually. He said to me once. He's usually on the train when he's watching our show. Oh, wow. So I don't know if that's changed or what. It's in the middle of summer over there, isn't it? So it might be a nice day. Might be down at the lake. If he's not well. Okay. Oh, I wish him better. I wish him better. He might be lying in bed listening to it and it's hard for him
You
to
got
chat.
whatever I got last week, so you know.
It's weird, isn't it? There's like summer colds going around in your neck of the woods, and there's winter colds going around in mine. I mean, you guys know that I was crook a couple of weeks ago, and it's taken a while for me to get out to go to. It's just typical when you get our age.
Mine wasn't cold; it was just a stomach issue. But yeah, it's always something about, right?
It's always something about. Yeah, cool. Right. Well, Synth Quid's done, so we can do another clue a little bit later on. But why don't we get stuck into the biggest price watch I've ever seen in my life? Eddie, I'm going to do the first. I'm going to do the first 3, and then you can do the rest. And I'm also going to fix that up as well. By the way, guys, I think we might have some scammy prices this week. I really do. I really do.
Nah.
And you guys will enjoy it. Darren, you'll definitely enjoy the scammy prices. I know you like to get your teeth stuck into them, mate. The first 3 have got a bit of a theme, and you know what the theme is already because I've shown you what the first one is. This is the Univox SR95, and if you guys haven't understood what a Univox is, it's also rebadged as the Korg Mini Pops, and this is the famous Jean-Michel Jarre Oxygen drum machine. And you can pick this up for $550 US.
Wait a minute,
Plus
look at
postage.
the note there. He's too lazy to plug it into a speaker. Well, come on.
Yeah. It is on eBay. Let's just now. I did pick these up during the week quite early, so that it's highly possible that they may have ended. No, it's still live on eBay. Although there is a note on here saying the seller is away until the 25th of July. It's interesting. I've never seen that before. All right, where are we? Where are we?
Every so often.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on eBay though. Interesting. All right. Yeah. So there she is on eBay. Let's have a quick look at some photos of it. Postage, Chris, it's our price is $844. Postage is $70 or $108 Australian. It is in St. Louis in Missouri. A little bit scratched. What is that on the top right-hand corner of the tempo? And someone circled Mambo.
Or something?
Someone circled Mambo.
Is it the 5th number 5 Mambo?
I have no idea. But scratched a buggery. I mean, it is. Look, this is a 1970s thing, so.
Well, yeah, look at that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've scratched around Mambo.
It's scratched Mambo.
Never under any circumstances use this rhythm.
Yeah.
And the red marker on the knob
Tempo.
there, the tempo knob.
Yep.
It's like, just use a piece of tape.
That's definitely.
So somebody's bought this thing and gone, set it to Mambo and set it to that tempo.
and leave.
It's the best ever. Don't touch it.
I'll take care.
That's
of
the only thing that works at that tempo and that flipping setting.
It's probably right, Darren. Interestingly, the tempo isn't set. It's slightly to the left of it, so stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah. This guy's a rebel.
He was going crazy that day. Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
Off the rails.
Yeah, he's a rebel, mate.
That's why he's selling it.
Wow, it's 250 volts. So that one would have needed a voltage converter for you guys in the US. That'll work fine over here and in the UK. One of the things
Oscar said, it's a Spinal Tap thing. Don't play any of the other rhythms or whatever. It can, like Spinal Tap can never be played. Just play this one only.
One of the things I love about these is obviously the Kujada sound and what was the guy's name? Used to be on our channel a fair bit. I forget his name now. He was kind of big on it. And the Guiro. There's some interesting sounds.
Oh yeah, Quijada's great.
Yeah. Is that it? We've done a roundabout? Yeah, we've done a roundabout. Cool. There you go. First one's off. Now, I said it's a bit of a theme for the first 3, so hold on to your hats because the second one is also a 70s drum machine, and this is the vintage Ace Tone FR15. Now, if you guys don't know who Ace Tone are, that's the company that Roland used to be called before they renamed themselves to Roland. And this one is on eBay, and it is live as well. Cool. So we can check this one out on eBay. I love it when they're still on eBay. And I kind of take a risk getting them. I think I got these like on Sunday last week, so they've been sitting on my link box for a while. Anyway, that's the Ace Tone. Basically, you guys.
The fonts are great. Yeah.
Basically, looking at a Roland here. This is the early days. This is the precursor to the TR-808. This is what this is.
Wow.
Look at this baby, hey? I don't really have any audio demo. I don't know why that's so small, that picture. That's weird. No image coming up. There's a good one there. I wonder if this will let you select multiple rhythms at the same time. Those buttons up the top, the silver buttons, they look like there's multiple press there. So I don't know what's going on there, whether that's going to cause it to do something.
I don't remember what Beguine sounds like. That's funny.
Beguine, yeah. Oh, geez, I learned that stuff at school. I do remember doing a test in my music class.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And having Beguine as one of the...
Tap out the rhythm.
Yep.
Yeah, had to tap out the rhythms there.
Yeah, you probably did it too, Chris. Yeah.
High school.
Yeah.
Music.
High school music crap.
Did you guys ever have Tapmaster? Did that ever make it to your area? It was a rhythm training thing based on an internal tape system. And a guy would talk and do like little beeps, and you had to tap along with it and see how off you were and stuff. It was kind of cool.
Don't remember it, but I believe you. Now, this one, unfortunately, looks like it's been sold, but it just says out of stock on their eBay listing. So maybe these guys are in Japan. They might be, one of these companies that gets them in and keeps them going. Anyway, I will bring that one across to you guys so you can have a look. It's also an eBay listing. This one's the TR-66, and it has a Roland badge on it, so there you go. So Roland, one of the earlier drum machines of Roland, by the way. Someone in chat will be able to tell us what the year of this is, but it definitely looks similar sort of lineage to the CR-78, doesn't it? When you think about the buttons, the type of knobs, and the wooden box, and just the look of it, it looks very similar lineage, doesn't it? They're calling this one the Rhythm Arranger. It still has the Beguine one on there.
No, they got Foxtrot, Habanera. That's cool.
But this one's got a bass and a snare section.
Cool.
So you've got that little sort of toggle switch on the right, and then you've got the 3 lineage buttons. So the lineage buttons will go from a rock beat and the bass and the snare toggles. So that's interesting, isn't it? And then that little green button turns that sort of feature on, which is pretty cool.
I've never seen one of those.
Yeah. And then you've got, this is also interesting too. It's got 2 different arrangements on it. So you've got variation A and variation B, and an auto. And I think auto is kind of what you set it to.
It's going to be A followed by B followed by A followed by B.
I reckon. And then it'd probably have just some sort of little, I don't know, maybe a roll or something happening in it, I reckon.
Yeah, slightly different in the second variation.
Cha-cha! There you go. Pretty basic stuff. So you got low out, high out, and you got a start switch on it, which would probably be control voltage, guys. So that's pretty cool. This one's 100 volts, so we can't use this, Chris, unless we get the converter.
Step down. Yeah.
Yep. Typical for the Japanese products, though. I've bought a few things from Japan, and I've had to step down.
Oh, yeah.
You always need to step down, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we get some inside photos coming up. Hey, look at that. Back in the day
vintage.
when everything was all through hole. Look at that.
Well, and that wonderful brown circuit board.
Yeah.
Which I used to think was, it's so old it's gone brown. No. It's always been brown.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't do the brown note, though, Chris.
Now look at those traces. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. They were always
It looks like the bark beetles.
They were drawn by
squiggles
hand.
like that.
They were drawn by hand.
Actually drawn.
Yeah, and then they were chemically etched. So they put the whole thing through a chemical bath. and
That's
it
how I used to make
exposes the
circuit boards,
traces. Yeah, we actually did that at school. We did that. It was cool fun. Yeah.
I did it in my bathroom.
Did it in your bathroom, right? Most people wash themselves in their bathroom. Andy,
Nice.
but,
I had a raccoon in there. I did that. I had all kinds of stuff in my bathroom. So.
jeez, a raccoon in your bathroom.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. What else do we have? Now, Andy, this is over to you now for the rest of this stuff. So I'm going to let you fly. Let me just get all those things up onto here. It's going to take me a couple of clicks.
Let's see which scammy one you get first here.
Interesting one first, I think. But there's definitely one in here that I went, wow. Yeah. It was a very, very big wow from me. There's two big wows, but one definitely got a wow from me for multiple reasons. But yeah, you guys, actually see if you can pick which one it was. There you go, keep you guys interested. The last thing, I forgot to write down what it was called. There you go. Just let me type that in while I forget it. Cool. Ready, set, go! Off you go, Andy.
Yeah. So everyone knows how much an SQ1 really is, right? They're used less than $100, new like $120 or something like that. They're very cheap. I have a couple of them. But look at that. I mean, that's just that's just amazing price.
Is that a typo?
At least it's free shipping, though. You do get free shipping, right?
Is it a typo, though? That's what I want to know.
Well, I don't know. Look at the very bottom note, though. That's my favorite part.
No offers.
No, there can be only one. It's a Highlander reference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That person was so high
Yes.
when they put that ad up. That's what I reckon.
Now, they're really fun, and if you don't have one, they're amazing. Plus, they even have a keyboard mode. They're super cool for modular or for MIDI. They also have a little bits port on it, so you can sync little bits with it, Korg little bits. So it's cool.
Well, I actually did a video on the Behringer 182? The Behringer 182. And one of the things that I was challenging myself to do and it was, hey, what is a competing product to the Behringer 182 or the Roland 182? And the Korg SQ1 was actually the competing product because, I mean, it's not Eurorack, but it actually beat it in features and the price was kind of similar. So if you guys haven't got one of these, do get yourselves one because honestly,
they're great.
They built like an absolute proverbial backdoor bunny, and
the batteries last a long time too.
Yeah, you gotta unscrew the panel to get the battery in, but they are really, really good fun.
It's compatible, and it's just
exactly
good fun.
MIDI, CV gate, and little bits. Yeah.
So don't forget, you've got to work out which one I said wow to, and I will give you a hint. It wasn't that one.
By the way, also Korg was rebranding this ARP for the when they released the Korg ARP 2600. They had a skin on this one. It was kind of funny. Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, that was actually good. Anyway, that one had serial number 420 on the back. What's my serial number?
Yeah.
420.
17100. Wow, mine's actually got quite a.
Well, it did say it's extremely rad, so it's.
Yeah. Well, he's extremely stoned, right, or something else. Next.
Yeah. So yeah, this was obviously a beautiful system. Everyone knows what this one is, but look at the price. Holy smokes!
Yeah, sorry about the Australian dollars.
It's still crazy price, even though it's Australian dollars. So
yeah. That's silly.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's got all the great pins and stuff.
You can have a Korg SQ1, or for cheaper, you can have a 2500.
Exactly. What do you pick?
Jeez, I'm so confused right now.
It's confusing, all right.
This has got okay, so if you guys know a little bit about the 2500 history, this has got the three sections to it, right? So the main section obviously is the middle, That's the main module, and then they called the left and the right. They called them wings. So basically, you could buy them separately, right? As you expanded your system. But the cool thing about the wings is they weren't the same width as obviously the middle. So you could put another oscillator bank in there, or you could put some sort of modulation or a sequencer or something else in there, and it became quite interesting.
I think Daniel Miller has a full system. You can show him the ads and actually trade them for the SQ1.
Yeah. Well, he'll just want to sell his after he sees that. Interesting. This one looks like it's in one of those storage sheds. You get those storage shed shows. I bought this storage shed for $3,000. Let's have a look what's in there. It's an ARP 2500. Yeah, let's sell it for 400.
Do you know how much these were valued back in the day?
Yeah. I nearly threw it in the skip, but then I realized my mate told me
smoke.
It's got the Matrix on it, Think about
it. Seems like it'd be really tricky to keep track of all the Matrix stuff. There's so much
Trinity
to look
and Neo, they're on the Matrix.
It's starting to sound a little bit too much like Donald Trump now, Rant.
I'm going to build a great big matrix. It's a big, beautiful matrix.
Exactly.
It's going to make
no one's
America
ever seen a matrix
great.
like this.
His best patch ever.
Yeah.
This is back in the day when everything was made in the USA. Booyah. Look at the back of that, eh?
Yes.
I'm sure they're extremely heavy as well.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. This is missing quite a few things, by the way. So even
but it's still amazing though for the.
Interesting fact. A lot of people don't realize this, but the ARP 2500 was one of the first synthesizers that introduced the concept of stereo as an output.
Right.
That's it. We got to the end of our little slideshow. Yeah, it's in good nick. There's no doubt about it. What else did you say? It's a reverb listing, this is. This one is a... Doesn't say. This is a generic listing.
It does say predicted to sell soon. Someone has it in their box.
So it's $250 US, right? His justification, Andy, on this is that when you bought this in the 70s, it would have cost you 30K, right?
Right.
So now he's adjusted it for inflation. All right. So someone in the chat, can you fact check that? 30,000 US adjusted for inflation to 2025, is that 250K, or is this guy smoking the ganja? At the same time, doesn't it have like 50 years of age?
That's right.
So you can't really do that because there's 50 years of age. Yeah, it's electrical. Things degrade.
And of course, it's no way everything in that's original.
Okay, listen.
Repairs done.
Listen to this. Cosmetically, the photos reflect just how clean and preserved the unit is. It is noticeably aged as extremely well treated, not used and moved since 2012, which I purchased the unit in 1991 on recordings and used it on recordings from 1997 to 2001. After that, it sat until 2012 when I drove it to Los Angeles, to Richmond, Georgia, to have a brilliant fuel. Sirocco from CMS Discrete Synthesizers restore, clean, rebuild and repair each module, power supply, etc. He was instructed to keep the unit 100% original and replace parts with exact identical parts if humanly possible. The work time was consuming and done to a careful extreme. Frankly, he was the best and most qualified technician I have ever worked with in my audio capacity. Microphone, music instrument, pro or audio or hi-fi. He was the most knowledgeable person I have ever met to date. When the unit wasn't completed, I drove back to Georgia and spent more time with Phil reviewing his work and listening to the system. At that time, it was perfect. Listen to that. That is such a wank. That's the biggest wank I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
Very proud of himself.
He is, yeah.
Yes.
Don't ask me to do Audacity books, guys.
Oh, dear.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. Kent's saying the price is about right. Yeah. All right, ready for the next one? If you think that's wow, boom-cha.
Yeah, look at that. It's not just a System 700; it's a Mega System 700. He even calls it Voltron down below.
Wow.
So.
Mega Voltron.
Yeah, in the notes, he calls it Voltron.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's up the highway from you, mate. It's in Portland.
But look, it's free shipping.
Indeed.
So you got that.
Regarded as perhaps the finest analog synthesizer ever designed. Hasn't everybody who is selling a synth said that about that synth that they're selling?
Yeah.
There's only 40 of these miraculous systems were ever produced. So this is actually rarer, according to him, right? I'm not going to say this is... Someone can fact check that. But this is rarer, according to him, than the 2500. Because there was about 100 or so 2500s made, right? And I think Hans Zimmer owns 39 of them.
A big wall behind him.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, dear. Does it have the phaser? Yes, it does have it has the 720B. Nice.
Of course it has.
Each module has been cleaned, calibrated, and recapped as necessary for optimum performance. Anyway, by the way, down the bottom it says this. Everything has to be arranged at the buyer's expense. Interesting. All right, let's have a look. It's got the SH101 up on top of it. But yeah, this is what a 700 looks
Behind
like.
it,
Now,
yeah.
if you guys are wondering,
Mini Moog on the right.
Roland System 500 modules, right? Roland System 500 modules you can buy for eurorack. They were outsourced to a company called Meleco, and also Roland gave them strict instructions on the circuits and everything. They do have quite a lot of the designs of the System 700 in their modules, but they also have other stuff too. So they have System 100 designs, they have SH5 filters and all sorts of kind of cool stuff. But the cool thing is you can, get System 700-esque sounds with modern Meleco-made products. Don't know if it's going to sound perfect, but, we talked about this the other day. If you don't really care if it's not perfectly sounding to the original, you're going to have that patching and user interface experience anyway. So you're going to be able to modulate oscillators and LFOs, and going to be plugged into your filters and sample and holds and delay circuits, and all that stuff's there.
Plus, as Kent has said, it's missing the sequencer, so it's hardly Voltron. It's not all there. So
yeah, well, that sequencer. Without the sequencer, that is actually a big anomaly. That it really is. And in fact, what is he using for the sequencer on this? I can't see a sequencer in the background.
Just the SH101.
SH101, yeah. Great sequencer on that. Yeah.
Well, it's very immediate.
I don't know, guys, but I would think I'd rather 2500 any day. I do love the System 700. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't knock them. I do love them.
But not at that price.
Vince Clarke has a
I
big
wouldn't put them on
700
the same
system.
tier.
Yeah, so Hans Zimmer didn't have all of them, right? All right, let's keep going. Next is going to be... This has got to be Andy's favourite price watch item ever. You ready?
Exactly. Hey, the Stormy Paniel. Yeah. So I remember when these were around, and they probably are incredibly rare. And if you're a Trump fan, you would easily pay this much. So that's the funny thing about this. But if you're really a Trump fan, do you really like him being humiliated by Stormy Daniels. So I don't know. It's a
Trump
weird
fans
anomaly.
do seem to worship that aspect of it as well.
It's very strange.
This is the weirdest
it's all
listing I've
twisted
ever
in.
seen. Seriously.
Now someone has to make an Epstein panel where he's standing next to Epstein. You know, it's
This is just a Eurorack panel. It's probably, what, 18 HP or 12 HP or something?
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, they've probably just, I don't know, screen printed it on there, I would guess.
Yeah, it's not even that well printed. It's just a really basic thing. But it's just, I remember when they first announced them, whenever that was, and I don't think they made many of them. So,
do you want your modular to sound bigly or not?
Exactly.
Hell. Right.
That's his thing.
Chris,
Bigly.
how much would it cost you to screen print on an aluminum or aluminium panel? How many of these could you make for 357,000 Aussie?
We had a laser I used to work that would actually do this on metal. He would actually laser the metal.
As I said, I would quite happily spend most of that on the machine to print that and a million other panels for my projects. Thank you.
I
could chuck a couple of these in
it'll almost be worth
$5.
buying it and then inviting Big DT over, Big Donald Trump over, to have a listen to one of your, doorless jams, and just get him to explore your panels until he discovers it.
Well, the one advantage Trump has, he has very small hands, so he can get between all the wires. So.
Yeah, he does have small hands. That's why everything's big. Right, next.
Couldn't pass up on that. I had to share that.
Colossus.
Yeah, then again, speaks for itself. But look at that beast, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Only one photo, which is always a massive, massive, massive.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing. It's, by the way, it's $68,000 is what he paid for it. That's not US dollars. That's Australian dollars. It's probably what is 68,000 US. It's probably about that, isn't it? Yep, it's that price. It's exactly that price. So he's bought it for $68,000, and he's selling it for the same price that he bought it for.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely in it. That's definitely FU to the world. I don't care what you say. I'm getting my money back.
Well, it's worse when they charge more for it. I've seen people charge more for something you could get.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
He's from Eddie. He's from North Carolina. He's probably getting stuck on the ginseng up there, up in the mountains.
Probably, or Jimson weed.
Jimson weed, yeah, up with with the rednecks. I'm gonna go and get up there in ginseng in the mountains and find. Oh, I got this Colossus here. We're gonna like fill our little holiday trip up there. Wow, look at that!
Getting that Colossus.
The top of the slim cabinet's wood panel, the upper cabinet has a scratch.
Oh.
Right? So you paid $68,000. You scratched it.
Is it a circular scratch for his favorite part? He circled it.
You scratched it.
Like the Roomba?
And then you didn't deduct money for the scratch.
Is that... I'm going to complain too. Was it
Mambo?
eBay?
It was Mambo.
Was it
Mambo?
Reverb? We'll complain.
Well, the guy's...
Breach.
Chris, the guy's name is Adam's Bad Habit.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's got nothing to do with synths.
It's definitely not nothing to do with synths.
Nothing to do with synths.
Yes.
These are hilarious. Edie, you've done extremely well this week.
Not great. I was cracking up, and you know what's funny? Because they're so outrageous, I found them in like less than 5 minutes. They were just right up top. They were so funny. You just kept
scrolling. Oh wow, there's another one. There's another one.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're spending $250K. Here's another one. All right, this last one. Here we go. This one's a bit more sort of back to earth.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah. So this one's cool because it's the Synton had a Synton 3000 modular as well as the famous Syrinx, which was a big thing for Aphex Twin. He loved the Synton Syrinx because it's a really trippy synth. In fact, the Syrinx was actually named after the Bird's vocal apparatus.
Didn't we show a Phoenix just recently though? I'm pretty sure we did, right?
Maybe a different version. This is a 2D,
this
I think it is.
A different version.
Slightly different, but this was a reissue, I think, or something like that, or a slightly later version than the one I showed before. But they were at Super Booth one year, can't remember which year, and they were supposed to be coming out with new stuff, and I don't know if they ever did.
Well,
they were kind of in the shadows for a while.
There is a relationship with This Is Not Rocket Science. The
Aphex Twin guys.
They'd done a.
But it's a Dutch company, I believe. So it's
it's made in the Netherlands.
They had some kind of licensing deal with the creator of this Phoenix, and they'd done one or two one-offs, I think.
This price, by the way, is probably about right, Andy, on this one. I'm not
considered a boutique.
I'm not an expert, but
boutique company.
But that's actually not too bad. I just
try looking up a Syrinx. They're really expensive. Yeah.
There's actually a Synth demo video on that listing as well, if you want to watch it.
I have the filter bank part of the Syrinx called the Gyrinx. It was a guy who made a third-party version of it, and it's pretty wicked. It's really cool.
If you guys ever wonder where I got that, I used to joke around about how you rock up in your Lamborghini and put the synth on the back seat, for the Metro guys, when you're buying Teenage Engineering products. Same thing with these guys, right? With the synth and stuff, the Phoenix and that, because it comes from the whole lifestyle of Aphex Twin, right? It comes from that whole lifestyle. Do you guys remember that video? That video is probably like nearly 10 years old now, where he did that synth cave tour around his house, and he had all the cars out the front. Do you guys remember that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, interesting video. It's probably been taken down.
He's a wild dude. I mean, he has the EMS Synthy 100, the giant console thing, and he had like this baby doll head with wires coming out of it as like a controller or patch bay or something like that. He's a crazy guy.
That shop, by the way, it's nothing dodgy about this shop, by the way. So when we do our price watch segment, not everything is a scam, but definitely some of those previous ones were, without a doubt. The 2500
panels, that's legit. So
2500 may be about right priced, by the way. Guys, which one was the one that I went wow to when I saw it, out of the ones that Andy showed? So just to refresh your memory, we had, forget about the drum machines, we'll talk about those later. The Korg SQ1, the 2500, the Roland Sifton 700, the Stormy Panels, which was the Stormy Daniels panel, the Analog Solutions Colossus, and this one. Which one is the one I went wow to when I saw it? See if you can guess.
So the Stormy or SQ1, because they're both ridiculous. Yeah.
Depends whether it was a wow of lust or a wow of derision.
Well, we are talking about affairs this week, aren't we?
Yeah,
exactly.
James reckoned it's the Phoenix because it was a positive wow. Stormy Panels says probes. Good job, matey. Neither of those, boys. Neither of those. I'll tell you what the answer is. After, I'll tell you what the second clue is for the synth quiz. How's that? You get a bonus. Second clue for the synth quiz is, this is going to throw everybody off. What could it be, my friends? Jeez. Right, second clue for the quiz is out. The answer to the what did I go wow for was the UP 2500. Of course! You guys know me now. You know I love the UP 2500 stuff. Yeah. Seeing them for sale.
Wow.
Seeing them for sale is kind of a rarity. That's the thing. You know there's only about 100 of them in the world. When you talk about rare synths, right? 100 UP 2500, it's probably not even that. And
I didn't know there were that few. That's crazy.
700 CS80s. And the thing that I didn't actually realize is how few System 700s there are out there. I actually didn't realize there were so few of them. I knew that they were rare, but I didn't know they were that rare. That's like almost boutique sort of stuff, isn't it? Like 40 or 50 or something. I don't know if that's true. Someone, let's fact find this. How many Roland System 700s were made? According to Google AI, 40. So he was right. According to Google AI. Now, if Google AI is bullshitting, then Google AI gets a slap. Yeah. But according to Vintage Synth Explorer, they're saying it's around 50. So 40 could be correct. But that's just the guy who's posting. His name's Tim.
I wonder how many Kent's actually seen.
Apparently, you guys have got to see this. Have you guys heard of a guy called Steve Jones who lives in Australia?
Yes.
Check this photo out. I'm gonna share this photo. Oh, it's WebP. Oh, you guys need to be slapped. Give me a sec. I'll transfer the WebP photo into JPEGs. Give me a sec. Sorry, it's not great for live streaming. I know, guys. I know.
Dave Jones. Yes, of course.
Now, it's talking about System 700s, right? I completely forgot about this. It's kind of like completely slipped my mind. This is probably the largest System 700 you've ever seen. Would you agree?
Yeah. Look at those sequencers, man.
This is Steve Jones. This is
that's in Sydney, is it not in Melbourne?
It's a place called Synth Temple, and I'm pretty sure it's Sydney. I'll tell you where it is.
That'll be in Sydney. It's probably one about a quarter of that size.
No, it's in Melbourne.
Synth Museum.
It's in Melbourne.
Okay, maybe this is one.
And it's got a Fairlight right next to it too.
It's in Kew.
I think this might be the one that Luke Million's been haunting in his latest Instagram videos.
Kent will know this guy. He's got 3 CS80s. He's got where are we? There's some other stuff. I should probably just show you guys the website.
I can't tell
actually,
which Fairlight that is.
I have Darren. We actually showed this before, years ago, on our page.
Yeah,
on our show. Because we had a guest. I can't remember who the guest. An Aussie guest, and he was going, "Oh, you guys should check out the Synth Temple website because it's really, really cool." Okay, let's do that. This is his studio. Let's just look at the.
Oh man!
Look at that, guys. This is in Kew. It's in Melbourne, right? Let's just get rid of that pop up. I just like watching the flyover. He's got 3 CS80s. He's got the massive on the right hand side, the System 700. He's got some quite rare.
Bottom left.
Look at all these different rooms. 2 studios.
4 voice or an Oberheim.
Gear. Let's have a look at gear. Here we go. Gear to die for.
Ooh, 960s.
There you go. There's the gear. He's got VCS 3s. He's got a Jupiter 8. He's got Oberheim.
Lindrum. Yeah. One and the Lindrum.
Yeah.
In the middle.
I'm going to have to visit this guy, I think. It'll just be a pain. But there's the list. You can actually go through and sort it, and it's a massive list, right? So you can actually choose something. Let's look at what ARP stuff he's got. There's the ARP stuff. He's got a 2600. So an Odyssey, an Omni, and a Quadra. Wow. All right, let's pick another. Let's pick EMS. Let's take out ARP. He's got a AKS, a VCS 3 Mark 1, and a VCS 3 Mark 2.
No. Does he have any Kurzweil stuff?
He would have. Kurzweil was actually really popular in Australia, so it's more
It was
likely.
here too, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. He's got the Forte, the Mangler. Oh, I haven't seen a Mangler for a while, actually. And so the Mangler is basically an FX thing, and he's got
It's
the
only
Rumor.
recent stuff, though, looks like.
The Rumor is like an FX thing. I haven't seen those for a while.
Yeah.
What's the other thing I wanted to check out? The Buchla. What's he got Buchla-wise? He's got a 406 synth. Does it actually have a link, though? No. He should have links to these things. Anything else, guys? Emu. What's he got? Emu. Emulator 2, Emulator 3, Morpheus, and the drum machine, the SP1200.
Oh, wow. Sequential? Does he have any sequential stuff?
Yeah, he did. He had Dave Smith was there. And I'll just go down and see if he's got sequential. So he's got sequential circuits as well. So there's a heap. There's drum tracks, Pro 1, Prophet 10, Prophet 5, Prophet 600, Prophet T8, Prophet VS, and the Tom.
Wow.
Oh, the Tom, yes, the Tom.
Yeah, the Tom.
Yeah, and the Dave Smith stuff. Heaps. Prophet 8, Tempest, drum tracks, Pro 1. Oh, so he's... Hang on, let's get rid of that. Whoa. Oh, he's only got the Prophet 8 and the Tempest.
Yeah,
Okay.
Doesn't have a polyevolver.
Doesn't have a polyevolver, doesn't have the Prophet 6, which is probably the better of the Prophets that he brought out.
I like the OB6.
He does have I behind me because he's a 4-voice, I think, didn't he? 2-voice or a 4-voice? I think I saw a 4-voice.
Yeah, I saw one.
Yeah, he's a 4-voice. Oh, he's got an 8-voice. He's got an 8-voice.
Wow.
He's got a lot of Obi. He's got a DMX times 2. He's got 8-voice, 4-voice, Matrix 12, OB8, OBX8, OBXA.
Wow.
If you want to see them actually being played by someone who can play pretty well, check out Luke Million's Instagram videos or his Instagram page.
Oh yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, he's good.
Quite often.
Yeah,
he does. He likes recreating, some classic tracks as well.
Is he a French guy? I forgot. Is he?
No, he's Australian.
Australian. Okay.
Yeah,
I remember seeing something like that.
That's some pretty serious hardware there, hey guys.
Yeah.
There's PPG waves there. There's also, other stuff too. So Fairlight, as you correctly saw as well, Chris. The Fairlight, by the way.
Doesn't have any Volcas though. You need some Volcas.
You have to bring your own.
Yeah.
It's a Fairlight CMI 30A for those who want interested in the Fairlight. Korg.
Oh, it's on the later issue. Okay, that's why.
Korg. There's a lot of Korg. A lot of Korg.
What about his Roland stuff?
There's a lot of Roland. Hell of a lot of. There's a Jupiter 8. We saw that in the photo. There's two Roland listings, which is interesting. I don't know why. Okay. CR78, Alpha Juno, D50, JD800, Juno 106 with the programmer, Juno 60, Darren, Jupiter 4, Jupiter 8 times 2, a JX3P with the programmer, JX8P with the programmer, MKS70. No, that's not mine. He didn't buy it off me. Some guy in the US bought mine. MKS80.
But no programmer for the D50. Too bad.
He's got the R8. A couple of outboard things. The TR808, the VP330, the System 700, which you guys know. He's also got a full System 100 set. That's not the modular one. And he's also got a System 100M with 12 modules in it. I didn't see that, actually. He's got...
But does he have a Juno 6 or a Raven?
He's got a Juno 60, Darren. Just the 60. So slightly different to yours, but still pretty good. He has an SH101, a blue one, and a red one. An SH2, an SH5, SH7.
Yeah, I saw a 60 the other day for $3,500. Holy smokes, those went up.
Yeah, that's... they're still... they're still holding the value, aren't they?
I had a chance when I
Good.
worked at Apple. I had a chance. The guy I was talking to, who actually was into music as well, he had just sold his Juno 60 pristine with the sequencer to the local used store I always go to, and I could have gotten both for under $1,000 from him if I had caught it before he put it in the store. It's like, God damn it!
Damn.
I'm trying to find. I thought he had one of those rare string machines. So let's look at the names. It would be either Elka or there is
A
Elka
Logan?
here, or a Logan. No, the Elka he's got is a Synthex. It was either Logan or what was the other name? Yeah, there's a Logan here. Yeah,
Logan
it's the
String
Logan.
Melody?
That's the one I saw. The String Melody 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I saw. That's actually quite a nice sound. I mean, the Logan. Is it the Selena was the Elka Eminence 301. So the ARP Selena, or the other company that made the ARP Selena, forget who they are.
Logan's nice. That's the one that Cable uses.
Logan's got a kind of more of a Giorgio Moroder feel to it. I kind of feel like he used that a lot. But what's the one I liked the most? It was the what was the first string synth? The Symphony or String Symphony or whatever it's called. You know, the guy from
Well, the Selena's a Gary Wright Dreamweaver one, right? I think that's the Selena.
oh, what's the name of it? Now you've got me going. I'll tell you what it's called. Talk amongst yourselves, guys, while I find something out.
Darren, how often do you use your Raven? Oh, you're muted.
Darren, you're
Not
muted.
there. I haven't used it for quite a while, actually. I did used to use it quite a lot, same with the AN1X.
Yeah.
I'd say been over a year since I've
The
used
workflow is quirky on it. It's a very quirky workflow on that thing.
It's a very quirky machine, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like with the arpeggiator or the multivator. Which that's an issue, rightly.
The one I'm thinking of is
some of the
the
patches
Freeman, guys. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, Freeman, yeah.
The Freeman.
You had it on a show a while back. There was
Yeah.
Price Watch, I think.
Yep. The Freeman's the one that was kind of, I don't know if it's the first. I think it might be. I think it might be the first, which actually has, you know, the whole sort of divide down, all that sort of stuff. I mean, technically, you could have called the Mellotron
Hammond Nova chord.
Yeah.
Is really, yeah.
But it was the first one that wasn't organy. You know what I mean? It was the first one that was more like a, you know, proper string sort of sound. And then that sort of cemented that whole string. I mean, if you think about it in terms of synths, right? Or music instruments, if you want to get sort of a bit more technical, the string keyboard, the string sound, whether it's the Logan or the ARP Selena or whatever, they have their own sound. Like Eminence 310, they all have their own sound, which is different. Like if you think about if you bought a Jupiter 8 and you put the string patch on, it's a different sound because obviously that gives you all the synthy stuff that you can do. You know, you can modulate it, you can put it through your filter and all that sort of stuff. Whereas they were kind of more just, you know, you had very little control because it was all divide down. You couldn't put it through. Do you know what I mean? It had a very unique sound. That's kind of what I'm saying, which is cool. All right, let's do. We'll do the last clue for the synth quiz, and I feel like once we do that, we can then get on to Saturday Sonority and get stuck into the rest of the show.
Cool.
So the last clue for the synth quiz is drone. Put your guesses in, people. If you guys remembering what they were. So there's the 3 clues. Indeed. Put your guesses in. Synth quiz, Ranzee, synth quiz, and your guess. Just having a quick look in chat. Hopefully, I reckon that was probably, in my opinion, that was probably the most interesting price watch we've done for a while. I know they're kind of interesting every week because we always find some weird stuff, but that Andy's to thank for it because he's found all those. That was extremely interesting, I thought.
Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing when I found this.
Yeah, it was a good one. You did well, mate. You deserve a virtual pat on the back. Yes, the drone mixes it all up, James. The drone mixes it up, and some of the other clues mix it up too, which is kind of throwing a lot of people off, right? Is that your guess, Roz? Is that your guess? Don't forget to put synth quiz in front of your guess. You're asking us. Don't ask us. Tell us.
Come on, be brave.
Yeah.
Be bold.
Be bold.
It's like the Jeopardy thing where you ask the question wrong and you give the clue to somebody else who asks it correctly.
We're not gonna wait for you guys. I think what we'll do is we'll officially launch Saturday Sonority this week. You can ask us anything. Jump onto Zoom if you want to. Zoom's there. Jump onto Zoom. Ask us anything if you want. Jump onto Zoom and do that. Do it through a super chat too if you want. That's probably a good way to do it. Support the channel. Do it through a super chat or do it through a Streamlabs tip, which goes straight to PayPal. That does help us. Do those if you want to ask us anything. But Chris, we're going to do the question for the guy that emailed this week, Peter. And I just want to read to you what Peter wrote. Good on you, Peter, for sending me an email. People send me emails all the time, right? This is not like a one-off thing. This is, I just pick ones that kind of float my boat. Peter, good on you for sending the email. He said, I recently built the GP82. So Chris's module, the GP82, which we'll show in a sec. In fact, I can show it now. It's a eurorack module, which Chris makes on the Maikshift Modular website, which we'll show in a minute. But there she is there with the bright LED going beautifully in the background, burning your retinas out. Just kidding, Chris. That is the companion module for the sequencer that's sitting right next to it, which is the Behringer 182. And that gives you some extra sort of features that the sequencer doesn't deliver on its own. And it's got some logic in it and things like that. But the cool thing about that module, you don't have to use it with the Behringer 182 sequencer. As you guys know, you can also use it with the Behringer 960 sequencer, which we've got there. And this is what Peter was saying to me. He's got that, and he's got that, and he's also got this thing, the Behringer Pro 1. So he is basically going to ask us, Chris, he's going to ask us, I want to use it with my Pro 1 as well. What do I do with the Pro 1, the 960 and the GP82? What can I do? And you guys would notice at the start of the show we did this little graphic. You have these. Now what? Well, guess what? You're about to find out. So, have we got an answer for the synth quiz? Just quickly. Anyone answered the synth quiz yet? No one answered the synth quiz yet. All right, guys, I'm gonna close the synth quiz off because I can't keep an eye on it. Right. So, let's quickly play the stinger and we'll answer the synth quiz. Here we go. You got a couple of seconds. Uh-oh, indeed, because nobody has answered it correctly. And geez, have we been dropping hints like the proverbial? There's your answer there. It is the Pro 1. That's the answer.
Good point. Never even thought of that.
There's the answer.
Consider that.
Written all over the manual, if you're wondering.
Never used one. Yeah.
Yep. There's your answer. Right. So there is a drone mode. There is a polymono mode. There is also the sawtooth shape. There's also shape next to the other things as well. So there you go. Check. You enjoyed that, didn't you, Jack? I know you did. You're face palming right now. All right, Chris. Do you want to get yourself set up?
Well, I don't know, because I've got a very specific setup at the moment going for a slightly different to normal 960 mode. I've got the dual CV mode where it uses 2 of the rows to do the rhythm and 1 row to do the pitch.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you'd be better off showing perhaps what you showed before, which is the more conventional mode that you had it in before with just I think you were, because you just had it put it into 960 mode. I think you were on purple mode, and then you were using 1 row for pitch and the other row for rhythm, I think.
Oh, mine is actually not even patched, which is done on purpose. Okay, so the reason why I haven't patched mine, I'll just go back
because that's how it starts for him. Yeah.
That's how it starts for him. So we've got nothing patched. I actually ripped out all my patch wires today just for this segment. So the GP82 is not patched. We can set it to whatever we want, mode whatever we want. The 960s, I mean, it is dialed in with some pitch and stuff like that. I can change that, but that's not even set. That's not even patched into the sequential switch next to it. So what I will do though is I will patch it through the quantizer on the left, because I do kind of like that. Which is by the way, that's a Disting Mark IV. If you're wondering, that's running the quantizer algorithm on it, which is really, really good because that little LED display shows you the notes that are popping out of the sequencer as it's doing it, and it does it in. It's a dual quantizer, so you can actually run 2 lanes if you want to out of the 960, which is kind of cool because my favorite setting of the 960, and Peter, you'd like this, I like to run 2 lanes separately, and I like to run the 3rd lane as a modulation lane. That's my favorite go-to. It doesn't have to. You can run it with the sequential switch and have it as 24 steps if you want to. Or you could just have 16 steps if you want to. But in my setup, you can do either 16 or 8 and sequence 2 different things with 2 8s, or you can do 16 using the sequential step. But I like to run the 3rd lane as a modulation lane for other things that are related to what sounds I'm making in the sequencer. Anyway, that's just me. And then we can really choose what we want on the Pro 1. We can choose anything we want.
I have a quick answer for what you can do with those 3 modules. If you use the GP82 in ratchet mode, you have instant early Tangerine Dream.
Yeah.
Indeed. But you have to patch it.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah. He wants a how-to, yeah.
There's multiple ways to ratchet the 960, by the way. So not necessarily the way that everyone uses is a good way either. So we talked about that on one of my videos. Right, Chris, what were you going to
say? Do you know if your GP82 is in 960 mode, the actual service mode setting from last time, or whether... Because otherwise we can go into service mode and show him... No, that's the main mode.
That's the main mode. So it's on the 8182 mode, yeah.
Yeah. So, but we need to change the config setting. First for 960 mode.
So explain that.
Can you? Yeah, no worries. Well, maybe I can show you because I've probably got better access to power, turning on and off the power. I'll just get my camera set up a bit better. And
yeah, I was going to ask that. I don't have a 960, but I eventually might get one. Is there a 960 mode, or are you kind of creating one right now with this?
No, this is an actual config setting that puts it into 960 mode.
Yeah, it's an algorithm that he added. It wasn't originally.
I have to patch mine.
Yeah, it wasn't originally, but he's added it to one of the firmware updates.
Yeah, so it's pretty early on that we added it. But
I'll just pretty early on.
Zoom in.
Just check if Richard's still on. I don't know if he is.
Hey.
Yeah, Richard's not there anymore. He was at the start of the show, though. Richard, you'll catch us on replay. Excuse me.
Okay, so I don't know if this is going to show it great, but you basically turn off the power and hold down the mode button. Actually, what I'll do is stop clocking it because that's going to complicate the issue. So if you turn off power... Can you see that? Is that
that's it?
Well, those cables aren't in the way.
So you turn the power off, holding down the mode button. Yep. turning the power back on.
And it starts flashing alternately police lights. And then you press it once, I think, to go into config mode. Yep. So now the top knob sets the configuration setting you want to change, and the bottom knob sets the new value that you want that parameter to have. If you look through the manual, you'll see that there's a bunch of different parameters you can change, and the first one, the purple one, is called 960 mode, and you set it to any value other than 16, and that puts it into 960 mode. So so at the moment, so that is purple mode, and this will set the settings. So at the moment, my system is probably set to, let's see, there you go. When it flashes like that, it's saying,
that's
you've
what you're
put
on.
the knob into the position of the current setting.
Yep.
So I've already got it in 960 mode, but normally what Peter will have when he turns on his unit is probably it'll flash when it's in the 16 position.
And the 16 step, yeah.
Which is, well, it's actually officially means off, which I know is a bit confusing, but because there's no 0 setting, 16 is the closest thing to off. So yeah, if you set it up to something like 4 or 5, I usually set it to that. In my case, I got it to that number, or set it to one number less. And then to save the setting, you press and hold the button down, and it'll flash white.
Those numbers, by the way, any number other than 16 just puts it in 960 mode. It doesn't really matter what.
Yeah, but they do actually have a technical effect as well. It adjusts the delay between the gate signal that's generated by the module.
Right.
Because normally the GP82 requires a gate signal from your step sequencer, but because the 960 doesn't have a gate output for the step sequence, a gate pulse width output for every single step. It has individuals. It's not any use that way. So putting it into this mode basically removes the need for having this additional gate input, and you can use the gate input for other things then, which I'll show you later. But yes, anyway, at this point in time, it's saved the setting. You're free to turn it off. There's no damage to the unit or anything like that. Okay, so now it's in. That's how you go into 960 mode. So I don't know if Ranzee has done that in that time, followed a bit along with me, whether his is in 960 mode. Hopefully it is. So once you've got into that mode, now I currently have the unit in a different mode at the moment, which is a different service setting, which actually is similar, but it has this additional facility of repurposing the gate input, which we've rendered, not any use to us, to a different function, and that is to swap between two different sequencer lanes, kind of like the sequential switch. I'll just zoom out because you can't see what I'm talking about. Let's have a look. Okay, that's better, isn't it? Right, so I'll just zoom in a bit more, maybe. There you go. So the two different lanes. So I don't know if you've ever seen this before, Peter, if you're watching the show, but there's a different module called the 962 down here, which is normally used to sequentially switch between the three different sequencer outputs. This is an additional module that you can get from Behringer to go with the 960. It's designed primarily for pitch, but you can use it for CV or anything you want to. But the basic principle is that it's an analog switch that enables you to string your lanes together in various different configurations. Now, the GP82 has a similar function in it where you can input one sequencer lane into CV1 and then another sequencer lane into CV2. And when you're in this mode, it will then swap between looking at the top row for ratcheting and gate length and rests for each individual step, and then it looks at the next row. So, and the way it swaps between rows is similar to the way you configure your 962, which is you take the last step, or in this case, sorry, say that again. No, yes, you take the last step, usually, output from the last stage, and you feed it into the gate input, and that will cause the GP82 to swap different CV signals that it's paying attention to, which I can probably demonstrate now. So I'll just get some sound going and connect the my handy clock. So I'm not using any fancy clocks today. I'm just using an LFO with a square wave output. So I'll just... I'll just tell you what's going on here. I'll play this in the background. So the pitch signal from the 960 top row is going to my MCO via a quantizer, and this is, by the way, this is a digital oscillator with a JP8000 style oscillator. It's kind of a super saw type sound. Sure. Yep, anyway, and I just received this unit, so bear with me as I remember how to operate it. So just, and the actual just want to change this. So it's easy.
I'll be back in a sec.
Gate signals do. Yep, no worries. So the clock is going into the GP82 and coming out the clock output. It's currently not being divided, but if I was to change this switch position, it's now dividing it by 2. So every second clock is now causing an advancing of the 962. So that's its basic clock divider setting, which is always available. Anyway, this is going into the shift input of the 960, which is standard way you would normally do it. Now, the other thing that's happening is that the module itself is using the clock signal to also generate a gate signal to my MCO, which happens to have, because it's a complex digital oscillator, it has a facility to operate. It has its own VCA built in, basically. It also has filtering and other such things. So for the purpose of demonstration, it's quite easy to show that this is generating different gate times and different rates. Now, because we're in purple mode, the gate setting, the ratchet setting is active. So if I take it off 1 to 2, it should start ratcheting. So you can hear it there. So these steps here are ratcheting at the moment. I'll just set the first two. Yep, I remember how to do it now. Ratcheting now. If we went up faster, it kind of becomes a bit more obvious, but you can hear that the ratchets are only occurring, so in this row they're not happening, but they are occurring on this row. So it's actually transitioning between 2 different rows by using the 2 CV inputs. The actual pitch information is coming from the top row, so I think I was out by 1. Yeah. So if I change, so let's just change that note, which is coming through twice every 16 steps. So it's, because it's only 24 total number of steps in the 960, you can't get a full 16 bar loop with 16 different rhythms and 16 different pitches, but you can get a kind of a version of a sort of fake version, as it were, with the pitches being repeating every 8 steps, but the rhythms being different every 16 steps. And you can even remove steps. So if I put this into that position there, it usually it will miss that step. There you go, it's a silent step. So you can actually like have gaps in your sequence as well using that method. The other thing I better mention is the setting of these switches here, because the 960 has different voltage output ranges. The setting I'm using here is X2. You can do whatever you want with the pitch setting, obviously, because that's going to normal pitch duties, and you could do whatever you want with that. Send it out to the Pro 1 for your pitch. Maybe you want a narrow range, maybe you want a wide range. But for the GP82, you want X2 because it's very close to it's quite close to the 182's 5-volt swing output. And because the unit is designed primarily to work with the 182, the meaning if you read in the manual of what each knob position does to the rhythm makes the most sense in X2 mode. It's a little bit off. It's about, I think it's 1245 is actually the center position. So you'll see that I placed that at about 1245 rather than that, which is actually slightly different on this sequencer to the center position on the 182. It's just because they're different voltage ranges. Unfortunately, the 960 was 0 to 4 and the 182 is 0 to 5. Apparently there's no standards. Different manufacturers, go figure. So in this mode, I'll just speed it up now because we can. So we can get our Tangerine Dream on.
So Chris, when I use the 182 for ratcheting and ratchet on various steps, you can use the one lane of the 182 for the ratchet control. Which lane do you have set up for the bigger sequencer there? What do you have to designate a lane to do the same function? You actually give up a lane for that ratchet function, like on off basically, or a mount.
So you mean, I'm trying to look at what you
because
mean.
like 182
So
is
you're
16
talking-
steps, but you only get 8 when you
Yes.
have to use the ratcheting controls.
Yes. Yeah. If you have
So
one
what
on
lane are you
182,
using on the?
Okay, yes.
that
So
one, yeah.
the left lane is the usually the rhythm setting, and the right hand lane is the pitch, or is it the other way around? You know what you're going to make me do? I'm going to look in the manual because I wrote all these things
But I
down.
mean,
so I don't
that's
have
for the
to
182,
remember.
but
Yeah.
for the sequencer you're using now, which lane are you using
Yes,
for that
then-
function to turn
okay,
on the
so the-
ratcheting?
Yes, so the ratcheting is occurring on these two lanes. So the
Okay.
B and C lanes. And lane A is exclusively being used for pitch.
Okay.
So you're not really losing any lanes, you're using all of them. So yeah, but you don't have to
But
operate
you only
this
get
mode either.
you only get the pitch out of the one lane.
Yes, I'm only getting the pitch out of the one lane in this configuration.
Yeah.
But there's a different configuration that you can use if you have one of these as well. I would dearly love to be able to make the GP82 have one of those in it one day. Maybe a Mark II will be
right,
coming
okay.
soon. Yeah, but this is the only way you can really switch the CV signal to pitch. It's a hardware thing. So you'd have
Unless
to
you
use
do it
that
manually,
to switch
do
between
that.
two. Yeah, unless you do it manually. Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
You could use a switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are many switch modules out there that you can use as well. This is not just one of them. I mean, this one's quite a big, bulky.
Yeah, I have a depth for sequential
Weirdly.
switch.
Yeah. So it just happens to be very cheap. So it's kind of a no-brainer to have it in your system. But Yeah, we don't always have the room, so there are probably better options for that. And watch this space. There will be upcoming modules from Maikshift Modular that may also play in this area. But
before I forget, what's the middle? There's the 960. There's the 962, which is a switch. What's the 961? There's that other one you can get too, right?
I don't believe that's been that hasn't been reissued by Behringer, but there will be a 961 module from the Moog original Moog series, Moog modular series, which had a function, and if I recall correctly, I believe that was some kind of it did some funky stuff to do with
that wasn't for ratchets,
switching.
right?
It might have been for ratchets, but it was one of those Bob Moog special things that I think he only made for a couple of people, and it was a bit weird. And it had real odd mixture of different functions in the same module. Bob sometimes did that. He used to basically make a little Swiss Army knife for an individual artist. So that's one of the ones I have. I have to admit, I did study the circuits of at some stage just out of curiosity. But I think Rance is getting somewhere. How are you going, Rance?
Yeah, going good. Oh, you can hear mine now.
Cool.
So mine is basically just patched without the GP82. So I just wanted to show like what would normally happen, right?
Yeah, with a Pro 1 or something.
Go to this. So that's just the sequencer running without being patched into the GP82. The GP82 is empty, and then the Pro 1 just set it to how you want. So obviously, just for anyone who's not knowing what to set the inputs to on this, by the way, we can stop this. You want to set your 960 has to go. I mean, this stuff is kind of basic, I know, but just for people so that they understand what's going on. In my case, I've got the output of one lane, the first sequencer lane, which is lane A, going into the quantizer, which is the module just to the left of it. Then the quantizer goes into input X, right? Input X then goes output A, and that quantizes that to a proper, it's supposed to be a proper note, but it may not be. And then that goes into the Pro 1, into the oscillator CV connection, right? Then the next thing you want to do is you want to take the gate, because this thing, the Pro 1 has its own envelopes and everything, so you don't need to run envelopes into it or anything like that. That's the cool thing about it. So it needs a gate and it needs keyboard volts per octave. So there are two things going into it. So the gate, I'm just daisy chaining off the back of the input onto the 960. So the bottom right hand corner of the 960 is where my gate's coming from. My I'm using a Pamela's new workout to generate my clock. It can be anything though. You can use MIDI. All right, and then that's going straight into the gate clock input on the Pro 1, and then the audio out is going into the mixer on my eurorack module, which is actually, you can see it. It's literally the first input. Just below you can see the purple cable, the tip-top audio one, going into that first one. So that's just really, really basic, right? Nothing really exciting there. Okay, now what we've got to do is we've got to go, I need to implement this into the GP82. So Chris, I need to then put my clock into this, don't I?
Yes.
So the clock, instead of the clock going into my straight out of the back of the 960 into the Pro 1, do I do the clock? I do the clock out of my Pamela's into this first, don't I? And then this then goes into the 960. All right.
Yes.
So let's do that. I'm going to be away from the mic. You probably hear me talking as I go away from the mic. I'm falling down a tunnel. So
it's the Grand Canyon.
Stay out of the way a little bit for you guys so you can see. So we're going to go clock. Yes, winch cry. All right, up in. Right? Now, clock out will still be where? From this thing? No.
Go from the clock output to your 960
960?
shift input. Yeah.
That. Into my shift.
Yep.
Clock out. Drop the cable. Sorry about the noise. I can turn it off. There we go. That will shut it up. So clock out into the shift.
Yep.
Okay. This is good because this is really basic patching stuff, so you can see it all happening. Right, the next thing I want to do is get the clock. So we actually need to stack the clock, don't we?
No, because the GP82's kind of done that for you. So the GP82's gate out goes into the Pro 1's gate in.
So gate out. Where's gate out? That's there. Okay, done. That's done. That's out of the way. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Next.
So yeah, you want to route. So you're still gonna use FAPs. You're gonna use the first two. Do you want to just keep it simple and only use 8 steps?
I can do either, whichever. We'll do the 8 steps first. You can hear me, right?
Okay.
Do the 8 steps first,
Yep.
and then we'll do the.
Yep. So you've already got the pitch CV coming out of channel A. So maybe try channel. You might go right down to channel C, maybe, and patch that into CV2.
So channel C out. CV2 in.
CV2, I think it is.
There we go. Done.
Cool. Yep. Right. So
Next, we need to.
now we get to find out whether you're in 960 mode.
Yeah, well, I did do the thing. I did do the thing.
Yep. Good. That proof's in the pudding, but I totally know it.
Maybe
totally
the
get it,
firmware
yep.
update may have not have taken. I can't remember now. It's been.
No, you've done 960 work before, so I know it can. That you've been
okay,
in that
cool.
configuration at least once.
Alright.
Hi, so try start your clock. See what happens. So that's cool. So that means your last step is probably set to silence. Hee. Sounds like it, or maybe one of the steps. First of all, do you want to check to see whether the clock divider is working? And flick your clock divider setting on the GP82 to 2 to see if it slows down. Yay, it's working like I bought one. So you can go back again. Now, perhaps change your gate setting to a 2 or a 3 if you want to go even faster. That'll at least turn on ratchets for you. There you go. So now you can start playing with your Pro 1 in response to the settings or changes that you choose to make on the 960. It's time to play.
I'll just change it back to the 960.
That's good idea.
Now, if you want to do the 2 lanes, I have to go into the sequential switch to the right, don't I?
Correct. If you want 2
Yeah.
lanes of CV, pitch CV, yes.
There we go. So it's working like a 960 should.
It definitely is.
All right, so let's assume that that Richard's got the sequential switch. Okay, let's assume he's got that. Let's patch that. Excuse me. Ugh.
So you probably know how to do it, Rance. Or do you want me to?
If it's anything different to what we normally do, you might need to tell me, but that's okay.
It's completely the same as normally, just not putting in the third.
Third row, yeah.
Yeah, the third row. Yeah.
So
Which I
you
think
go.
the way the jacks work, it knows what's plugged in. So
I'm gonna use little ones. Little ones. Where's me little ones? When I say little ones, you've got different size tendrils, right? So we only
he's
need
talking
little
about
ones.
his
So
cables, not his offspring.
I need to get out of here. Out of here. So one A goes into one.
Yep.
Which is signal in.
Yep.
And then B
Goes into 2.
goes into single 2. Down here. Not in the way, am I? No, not just my hands in the way. That's all. Okay, cool. And then trigger outputs. So
Yeah, I reckon trigger outputs you don't do anything with, because that's, well, you could do other things with it. You could fire off other things. I think it shift input from the 962 you want to put into step 1 output. Usually, I actually had it in 8, which meant it was transitioning at a slightly different point, but much of a muchness.
yeah, just need to make sure I've got a cable that's the right length.
Yeah, that's the long, annoying one you have to get across, drape across the front.
So
Unless you have a 962 on the left.
shift to
But
out.
then you...
So you want to go on the out on the
Yes.
step 1?
Yes, the output of that step
into
to the shift input on the 962.
So there's a
And
little
then
bit
you
of
take
patching.
your... Yeah, you've already got your main output from the 962 going to your tuner.
Going into the quantizer, which is just to the left of it.
Okay, so that should give you 2 rows of pitch.
I'll just go left so you can see there. Actually, zoom out a bit. Get both in. There you go. Cool. All right, start it again. And you can see the sequential switching over to lane 2. Now, obviously, once you've done this, you can then play around with these things.
Yeah, so now you're controlling the GP82's rhythms that it's creating on the gain output to the Pro 1. Of course, only 8 steps of it, so each 8 steps will repeat, but for the different pitches. So you get the same rhythm repeated, but the pitches are different for each 8 steps.
Now, just to remind people too, just with that third row, because we're using that as a modulation row, that third row, anything to the right of 12 o'clock is going to be either a mute or a ratchet, right? So we start, we'll just do step 1.
So, yeah, so about 12:45 is your centre position.
So that's now mute. Well, not mute, but skip. It's like a skip, right?
Skip. Well, it's not really a skip. It is a mute. That's a valid.
Then we go to the right a little bit, and now it's becoming a ratchet, right? And then that becomes a. So we go to the left. That's normal step. To the right is a ratchet. Now if I set my ratchet to more.
Are you just repeating one step?
Yeah, I'm just repeating one step so they can see.
Haha, sneaky. Yeah, we didn't quite see that, but what Rance did is he switched the switch on the bottom of the unit to only stop on that step, which is a way you can test what setting you have on that step. And he's free running again.
I was just adjusting the gate length. Not gate length. Step clock division.
Okay.
And obviously I played around a little bit with the filter while we're at it. So there's the settings on the GP82 now.
Yep. So 4. It's on a 4.
Yep. And then there's the settings on the Pro 1. Now I've got a little delay effect on it. It's, if you're wondering what that is, it's just IntelliGel C legs. Okay, cool. So I mean, really from there, guys, it's not really for us to do something amazing with, but it's for you guys to do something amazing with from here. It's really up to you what sort of sequence you want. But like I said to you before, Chris, and everyone else, I like that third row to be my modulation row, because I just feel like you've got more control, right? You've got more control of the GP82, and you can actually send that also out to something else, like a filter.
Yeah.
While you're at it, so you can have, oh, okay, cool. That's, that same sort of CV control could be doing something on each step, and you could actually put it back into the Pro 1 if you wanted to, into the filter CV.
Yep.
That would probably do a job. It might sound a bit
weird.
weird.
You can do wacky things with the adder on the GP82 as well.
Yeah, explain that.
And stuff like that.
Explain that.
Okay. No worries. So the GP82s, I'll go back to the thing and change over to my. Hello. So back to the GP82. It's going to be a bit harder to see. I'm sorry, guys, because there's cables in the way. I can always take those cables out, though, can't I? I could. So down the bottom, the GP82 is this little section here, which I'll just, maybe I can show it to you. Actually, I'll just pull these cables out. It's easier to do it this way. I should just get another unit, actually. That would actually be another way of looking at it. So this section here is just a precision adder. So you've got an X and a Y, and it gets added together to create a X plus Y. So you can put like a pitch CV or any other CV in here, and then a different CV maps. You could have two different lanes adding to each other. It's a bit iffy because
or a transposer,
independent sequences. Yes, or a transposer or a keyboard.
Yeah.
For example, I was using the keyboard to transpose the Honoroy here, which had a drone plugged into it, but I could just as easily have plugged this into this guy. In fact, let's just do that if I can remember which way these guys were plugged in. Then one goes to there. I can take the pitch out, which is currently going into the MCO. I will then, that's the gate. The pitch might go into the GP82's second input, and the I'll just swap that around so we can actually get to it. Nope, I have to go around the other way. Welcome to the world of modular. It's always a little bit messy, especially when you're trying to do a demonstration. Yes, sorry. Oops. Of course, something has to fall down, of course, as well. That's never a complete demonstration without something falling over, is it? Right, especially Chris Jeffrey doing
you need a headlamp.
Yep. So I'll just chuck in a... I probably should, actually. Just see if we're getting... Okay, so you can see that stuff's happening. Illustrative LEDs are always helpful visualizing these things, but because LEDs take current away from your tuning CV, we tend not to leave them in circuit. So that's just a quick check to make sure it's coming out. And now I will route that with a new patch cable, one preferably that's a decent length. Would be good. We'll go out to our volts per octave on the MCO here. And so let's zoom out again because it's kind of boring.
Did you buy those LED plugs on Etsy or did you make them?
They are one of my homemade jobs.
Okay, I bought some on Etsy.
Bi-color cool. LEDs in them.
Yeah,
it's another possible product.
Keep going, Chris, but I've already done mine.
Okay.
On screen,
right,
by the way.
So,
So
cool.
what I've got with mine is I've got a module called an FH2 by Expert Sleepers, and let's see if I can. Oh yeah, she's transposing it beautifully.
I might even be able to harmonise with you if I got this right.
I'm only at 120, by the way.
I'm at whatever my LFO is doing.
It's a nice feature, isn't it? I reckon it's a nice feature. I'll go back to you, Chris.
Yeah, no worries. It's a good fun feature. So I've just got hands here. My key step is currently plugged into my Turia key step is just out of shot there. Just peeking out.
Yep.
Hello. So we've got a little chord progression going. That's works really well going into a quantizer that already has a set scale.
Yeah.
Because the transpositions actually happen in, they create kind of key changes, which is really nice. There you go. That was meant to be a bit more elegant than that when I stopped. Oh, there you go. Hello.
I'm here.
I'm back again.
Yay.
Yes.
Um,
So that's the general idea.
well, I'm just thinking, just as a very, very basic idea, because I mean, if Richard's got the GP82, he's most likely going to have the 182, which I would suggest, be the reason why he bought it in the first place. And as a result of that, one of the things you could do is you could send that voltage adder in a duty from the sequencer from the 182. You could have that running at a very slow clock, for example. And so that might be stepping through 8 steps of key changes. And so your 960 is doing your sequence, and then the 182 could be your key changes that you can control with those little potentiometers as well. And in fact, with my setup, you can actually control them even with the quantizer on the left, because I've got a spare quantizer port on the on the Disting Mark IV. So that's kind of handy having that, actually. It's kind of handy. So that's something else you could do. But in my case, what I've got is the Expert Sleepers FH2, which is a MIDI to CV module, and that way I can actually then control the transposing of that sequence via any keyboard that I've got through my Ableton connection here. In this case, it's a Arturia key step, but I could have used the back of the key step out of CV if I wanted to as well. But because it's not there, it's easier to plumb. It's easier to plumb things when you've got them set up. So you get that. Yeah, it's really low. It's good fun. So a little voltage adder as another added bonus, isn't it, really? It's kind of like, hey, while we got you, not only can you do this cool stuff with the GP82 with the 960, but we've also got this extra feature that lets you do something that you're probably, the next thing you're going to ask is, I want to transpose my sequences, and we can do that. Let's have a quick look at your site, Chris, because the next question is going to be from people who are watching this thinking, where do I get the 182 from? The answer is from, I'm going to put this in the chat, but I'll just show you quickly. There's the module there, available on his Etsy store. It's $229. What's it in US, by the way? Do you know?
I have to do the conversion because it
does it for you?
It's also different depending on which state in America you are in, because they have local tax.
Here we go.
Ooh.
It is 156 US.
Okay.
And it is, let's do euros for those who are in Europe. 133 euros. And the British pound, 116 pounds.
Cool.
I'm just going to change this back because I can. But yeah, there you go. A little feature. Now, go back to me. It's us, sorry. And I'm going to give you that listing.
It's also available as a DIY kit.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. You can save a few bucks.
DIY inclined, yep.
Hey, Chris, while you're talking about it, can you talk about the latest modes or in the latest firmware? What have you added totally to the 182?
Okay, so...
The GP82, sorry, GP82.
Because for just some context for... just some context, he had an early version of the GP82, so he hadn't done the... I think even the second firmware update. You might have done one firmware update, did you, Andy?
I have stock from you. I haven't had a chance to do any of them yet. So.
Okay, yeah. So there's a fair few. There were some bug fixes, for example, in there.
Yeah, I don't have like the LED. I want to fix the LED brightness and stuff.
Yeah, the LED brightness is controllable now, and the default is much more sensible. So that's one of the changes. The 960 mode was added, so that's definitely one of those ones that you'll need. And the very last firmware update I did about 6 months ago was to add those dual CV modes where you can switch between two different control voltage inputs.
Did those change? Did those replace anything that existed, or are they in addition to what was already there?
No, they're in addition to what was already there. So they're additions.
Okay, so you have room for more stuff. Okay. Okay. Cool.
I don't know about more code, but there's definitely room for more settings.
Okay.
The
it's pretty full code-wise. It's pretty.
It's pretty close, yeah. It's pretty full, but it's been a while, and I really love to do a version 2 with a larger CPU, and I'd also really love to do an augmented version of this module that has its own step sequencer built in.
Because you had there's a Bernoulli gate mode, and there's a
that's still in there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's about 7
cool stuff
modes,
in there.
I think.
Yeah.
Some cool. Because that's just purple mode. All we showed them was one mode. The other modes are a bit more. That is by far the most sort of feature-packed mode. That's why we always show it, and that's why it's mode. The first
it's like your go-to mode, and then from there you can start exploring.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't know why this stuff's not flying off the shelf, Chris. Because anyone who owns a 182 from Behringer, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of those 182s out there. But even still, anyone who owns a 960, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
I bought a 182 to play with the GP82. So,
well, I actually recommend, if you do have a 182, get a second 182 because they're dirt cheap. They're so cheap, right?
Yeah.
Get a second
I've
182.
ended up with 2.
And you can actually do some kind of funky stuff with 2. The only thing that I'm against on the 182, and this is one of the reasons why actually, by the way, kind of little sidestep. You can actually use the GP82 with the Korg SQ1, and you can use it with the Korg SQ64. I don't know why you'd use it with your Korg SQ64 because it's kind of got everything it needs in there, but you can use it with the Korg SQ1. And one of the cool things about the Korg SQ1 is it's got its different modes, right? So I don't know if you guys remember on the Korg SQ1, you've actually got these the little switch modes up here, and that gives you,
It's a 654,000 Korg SQ1.
this
Yeah,
is
just
the
don't get that one.
400,000 Australian one. That works better on that one. Yeah.
But one of my favorite modes on this is random, the random mode, which is the far right hand mode, and you can run that with the GP82. In fact, you could actually run this to do your transposing using your voltage adder, run that on random mode, and you would get some really cool results with just mucking around with that. In fact, I could probably do that right now.
And that in keyboard mode, you could use with the adder to go up and down.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This thing, the good thing about this can sit in front of your modular. Like I actually just sit mine just there.
Yeah.
It just sits in front of your modular. So it doesn't need to be plumbed in. That's the cool thing about it. And you just power it off battery. If you're worried about USB noise, you can just power it off battery. Like you said, Andy, the battery lasts for yonks on this. It's ages.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, I don't know how long you'd get out of it, but a long time.
8 hours at
like
least or
him.
something like that.
Yeah, it's a long time anyway. But you've got kind of funky little sort of sequencer things that you can do on this as well. So you can manipulate. You could actually get this to manipulate the GP82 in a different way, and that would then do some weird, funky things to the 960 as well. So,
Yeah, because you can do 2 lanes. You can do 1 lane Z, 1 lane bouncing ball kind of stuff.
Yep.
2 lane bouncing ball.
Yeah.
So
it's good fun. So what I would suggest people do is just try these things out and marriage them together. Like that's one of the things. The GP82, as I said before, it's kind of like the source in between, the other things that are there. So it's got the logic in it to manipulate the things, and I love the ratchet effect on it. The ratchet effect on it is much more reliable than other ratcheting methods that you can do on the 960. That's for sure.
Hey, Chris, did anyone test it with the dark time yet? The depth for dark time?
I know someone owns a dark time who has my module, but I never heard back from them.
That's probably me because I mentioned it at one point. I never got a chance to test it.
No,
So-
another client.
Another person?
customer.
Oh, okay.
I think had it also had it.
Okay.
Well,
I need
well,
to
the
try
di-
that, 'cause it's
I referred to you. Yeah. I
What
said,
do you want to do with the dark time? What's the dark time missing? It's missing something. I forget what
Ratchet.
it was.
that's
ratchet.
why Deffer makes that damn module.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to use the ratchet on this easy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And that solves that problem, and it's cheaper than getting the.
I mean, I bought the Deffer ratcheting thing just in case, but yeah, the GP82 is just fine for everything. So
cool.
Ratchet module.
Dug for one. I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
yeah, that's a major oversight. They should have put it in the damn dark time because it's supposed to be all-in-one box to do Berlin School, and it ain't. You need the fucking ratchet. So.
The thing with the dark time that used to always blow me away was how expensive that thing was.
It's really cool though.
it's-
It's really good.
I'm still.
And I got it when I didn't have any modular. I used it for MIDI, and it's awesome
Yeah.
for MIDI.
Yeah. I knew about it before I knew about modular.
Yeah.
I mean, the ratcheting module on this is it's interesting because it takes that connection underneath behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only way you can do it. I'm just having a look at it here. You can have. I'm looking at Found Sound, which is it's the only place I can quickly find it.
Familiar.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a hack on YouTube. A guy hacked it, so it's even more useful if you do a little tweak inside of it.
Hacking.
So you get
It's just
so
a simple
that,
fix.
you get that little manual ratchet control here, right?
Yeah.
But that's the generic ratchet controls here.
Yeah.
Right. So you would set this. Okay, I want to set this to lane 1, lane 2, or lane 3, and the ratcheting is either normal, double, or triple, and then you can manually override that, so it's multiples of that, and then you can actually CV control that. So it's actually pretty cool.
So ideally, if you had a dark time, you would take the dark time out of its own case, put this in there in a pod case, and then you have a complete thing.
Yeah.
If you wanted the depth ecosystem.
Yeah. I mean, really what they should do is just do a dark time Mark II and put this in.
They really should. A major oversight.
Yeah, it is a strange thing to think about. I always thought, because the Dopefer don't... hang on, Dopefer are still making modules. Why the heck haven't they reissued the dark time? It's odd.
I don't know.
Conspicuous in its absence. Mark II, at least.
But one thing I do like about that, Chris, is the manual... the CV control of the ratcheting amount. Yeah. So that's something that you could possibly implement.
Well, there is one mode that does add to the ratchet amount.
Yeah.
That is one of the alternate CV functions. One of the other changes to the firmware, Andy, that I forgot to mention is an alternate mode for CV2 that adds to the ratchet dial setting.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Manual.
Yeah, I got to update the thing.
That does it. Yes. Alternate CV function. Alternate CV1 function. Auto switcher, yes. CV1 function. CV's clock division dial. Oh no, it's clock division. Okay. So there must be a different mode that has the offset to the ratchets. It's probably one of the dedicated modes.
While you're thinking of it, just interrupt when you get it. The other thing too is that Chris has got some modules that are about to be released in the future. They're in would we call it alpha testing or beta testing?
Yeah, I call it alpha testing.
Alpha testing at the moment.
Alpha testing or maybe beta testing? Yeah, alpha testing.
One of them's probably alpha testing. One of them's probably beta testing. To be fair,
if you just made it, it's probably alpha testing.
Yes. One of them's pre-release because
they're both going to be really, really cool, and I think it's going to add a nice little sort of extra stuff to your store too, Chris. But
I'm desperate to get them out, but I got to be patient.
We've got to be patient.
Also, for those who don't have modular or don't like modular, Hydrasynth does amazing ratchets, and the controls are right there. It's really cool.
Yeah, still haven't got a Hydrasynth. Need to pay off my credit card bill before I get any more big things like that.
You can get the desktop model. Then you get Poly AT pads, MBE pads.
Yeah, I still want to have a keyboard controller with a ribbon controller, though.
Oh yeah.
Because I kind of feel like that's the benefit that you're getting.
Did you want to get the original? Because the ribbon lines up perfectly with the notes, and you can play it like a Tannerin.
Oh,
Yeah.
You mean and the Deluxe is actually pretty cool because it's got 2 engines in it.
Deluxe is cool, but it doesn't match the ribbon anymore.
Mm.
So if you want to play matching the notes, you have to use the original.
Yeah, just get the standard one. Yeah.
So incidentally, Andy, the mode that has ratchet for the second CV input is white mode.
White mode.
Section
okay.
3.5 of the later. Yeah, it's called white. So it's slightly off white, but
cool.
yes. So that one has. Yes. Yeah, it actually adds to the ratchet dial.
Nice.
So whatever you got a setting to, it just adds to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I found that.
I had someone use it.
I found that patching cable thingy you sent me, so now I got to update it. So
cool. Yep. If you have any problems, just let me know.
For sure, yeah. I got the instructions, but I may have to re-download them. So.
I do it every day. Not to that module, but
Yeah.
I'm programming chips left, right, and center, getting ready for
Yeah,
my modules.
all yours are the same ecosystem. They're all the same processor.
They are, yep, at the moment.
Yeah.
In the future, we'll probably be moving away from this model because it's not very convenient for the customer to have to purchase a programmer. But yeah, all the modern
Well, it's
stuff
like
is
Arduino, right?
straight-
Where you have to do the little
yeah,
funky cable thing.
All the new
Yeah, so-
stuff is you just plug it straight into your Mac or PC and it just works. So much nicer. We'll be moving there.
Just have a quick look at the GP82 manual while we're at it, because this, by the way, Chris, this is the version that's publicly available through your Etsy store, so it may not be the
Cool,
one
yep.
that's in front of you.
I think it is, yes. It's up to date.
So, for those who don't really understand, what this does, it's got the manual actually nicely lays it out and tells you the first knob is your gate divider, the second knob is your clock divider, or functions, depending on what mode you're in. Now, the mode is this area up the top, and that's the colored LED that and the little selector here. So this is the cool thing. So if you want to find out what modes this thing can do, you just click on one of the modes here. So you've got the complex, the P complex and the O complex mode, and you've also got the Bernoulli gate mode, which is kind of like a step and mute thing. And you've also got the rest and hold, rest and repeat, and a full burst, which is kind of crazy. And what this does, if you look at each one of these modes, if I go back to the start, this tells you how to patch it with your 182 sequencer. So that it's just really simple. It tells you where to put all your cables, and then once you've got them all connected, what then you can use the two knobs for on the GP82. So that's pretty cool. You've got your special ratcheting modes, and then it goes into different extra things about knobs falling off and stuff like that.
A fun hint for those who don't use their module that much, like me, I actually left cables in the GP82 and the sequencer with labeled ends, so I never have to worry which one goes where. They're already there, ready to go, whatever I'm going into. So,
yep.
The other
Good
thing
idea.
I tried to do, of course, when I designed the module, was name the CVs the same as what they are labelled on the GP82. So the common patch configurations, you just remember to put 2 and 2 and 1 and 1 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of a little
Mine is just idiot proof because the label, I go, that one goes there, that one goes there, and it just matches to whatever module I have to use. So
Yeah, that's a good idea to do that, Chris, because AM Synths also do that with their keyboard tracking module for the 1047.
the filter, resonant filter. Yeah. Yep.
So then when you're connecting it up, right, it's all the same.
Yeah.
I can actually show you. So I haven't connected it up, but that's fine. Is it going to let me go there? Let's create an input. There we go. So we're looking at, I should use the telestrator on this, shouldn't I?
Telestrator.
Interesting.
what does that one do? I don't remember.
Okay, so what we're looking at is the 1047 module. And we are also looking at the, does this work? Yay, it works. Beautiful. And we're also looking at so this is the 1047 module here. And this is the AM Synth keyboard percussion module, the 1047K, right? Down the bottom. So what it does is, this is actually pretty cool because I can actually show patches here. So gate goes to, your gate. So
You have to talk like John Madden when you use that. Okay, so we got
input to input, right? FCV1 to FCV1. See how it's labeled the same?
Ooh, that is
QCV.
the telestrator. I get it. Yeah.
To QCV, right? And And then these two here, these connections here are to your keyboard. Okay. So that's what I like about it, is that it's kind of simple. They're labeled the same as the module. This is what Chris was saying about his. So it's actually labeled the same. And in that sense, there's a few other fancy things this does as well. But that module is completely standalone, right? It doesn't actually have any soldering or behind the scenes ribbon cable connections or anything to the 1047. It's literally through the front 3 connectors there. And then you can actually use this as a playable filter, which is what was in the original ARP 2500. So what Chris was saying was kind of similar with his GP82. I can't really show it now because they're all kind of connected up, but if you look at that, it says CV1 there, that goes into the CV1 there, right? CV2 goes into the CV2 there. So that's, I mean, you do a different color probably. Let's do a different color. Let's do red. There we go. CV2 to CV2.
Telestrator's not working.
Oh, what happened to my Telestrator?
Yeah.
Oh, Telestrator.
Hey,
It's invisible ink. There it is. Yeah.
There we go.
This is similar to what I did on my last video where I demonstrated the two 182s together. That's why this is very familiar to me. I think I even use the same colours.
Telestrator sucks.
But of course, I did it I did them freehand and then I edited them into the video with transparency. So it's very controlled. If you look carefully, you'll notice it's the same circle I draw every time I draw a circle.
I'm really bad at drawing with my mouse.
No, I am too, which is why I had to record lots of sessions of it until I found one that was halfway decent.
I should go and use my wife's Wacom. She's got this awesome,
graphics tablets. Yeah.
Oh, right, really big one. Yeah, I've got a little one, but I could never quite...
I actually have the Tablet PC, which is a Wacom PC.
Yeah.
Those things are so good.
I can't connect my brain, though, to using the pen on a separate service. And
I could do... Oh, I know what I could use. I could use my iPad. I've got an Apple Pen.
Yeah, iPad, I reckon, would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And an Apple Pen.
They have that app. There's AstroPad, I think it is, to make your iPad talk to your PC. AstroPad, have you used that?
No, but I'm going to write it down because I
haven't heard of that.
That with my mum's.
They may still not. I don't know if they still make it, but it's called AstroPad. It's
Okay.
Chris, the one that I reckon you should look at is where's the PDF thing? It's called the Drawboard PDF app. If you're using Windows, because I know you use Windows, don't you?
Okay.
So when you want to show something on a video, but you want to actually like highlight things as you're showing, like I was just showing you a PDF before. If I do it on the Drawboard app, you can actually, it's like almost like a markup / whiteboard thing, but you can then video record it at the same time. There's a feature in there to video record, screen record, which is pretty cool. That's the one I liked anyway. Yeah, so what do you guys think of that? With the GP82, the 960 sequencer from Behringer, and the Pro 1, which is also from Behringer. Yes, I know. But guys, what's wrong with it? Seriously.
Nobody's screaming out, because someone cloned the 182 sequencer. Funnily. Doesn't seem to come up in conversations. Since you cloned the 182 sequencer Behringer, I'm never going to buy your...
IntelliGel doesn't get busted, so,
Well, yeah, Rick Modular didn't get busted either, and he actually was the original cloner and improver of it with the 185.
Yeah, with 185, yeah. Very nice.
Roland don't care,
of course,
honestly.
Metropolis.
There's actually...
Same
there's actually heaps. There's heaps. There's actually synths. There's synths that have been designed with 182 sequencer logic in them as well in the 80s.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Mm.
I do remember.
Do you remember which ones? I don't remember.
Off the top of my head, no. Like Russian synths. But yeah, CV controllable stuff. Yeah. I think, from there, do whatever you want in terms of patching. But I mean, it can, like, if you're looking at patching it, it looks, once you've patched everything, as you're doing it, it makes sense. But once you look at it and you step back afterwards, you go, oh my God, look at all those cables everywhere. It looks terrible. Once you get your head around eurorack, though, you don't have that problem. Seriously, it's not too bad. You can neaten them up as you're doing it anyway. There's only 3 cables going out of the Pro 1. But
at least you can trace the leads. Those pin matrix things are kind of crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, in my situation, I could have moved them all together, and it would have made it a little bit neater. Like, I could have put the GP82 next to the 960, and kept it all sort of neat. And I probably could have pulled the Pro 1 out of that and put it into Eurorack as well. Could have done that. So that sort of stuff, if that's what you want to keep everything sort of together because you're working in that little realm, then that's fine. Do that. But in my case, I've got stuff all over the place, and if you've got long enough cables, like those purple tip tops, they're pretty long. Like, one of the cables goes from the pitch. You can see it here. It's across 2 cases. See that?
Yeah, I've got a few of those long ones.
Really long.
I for the really, really long ones, I actually on purpose made my own, so they were so distinctively different from every other professional cable that I knew it was the ginormous one, because it's one of mine.
Well, those are the cables I pre-patched into this sequencer GP82 mix with the labels on them, so I can literally put it anywhere in the room. So
cool.
I mean, you could technically modify a 182 and hard patch it to a GP82. You could probably do that,
kind of,
and make a ribbon cable mod
or a modification or something.
You probably could do that.
I still want to have it available as the old school, though, just for the hell of it. Yeah.
There's already a modification I would love to do on the 182 just to fix some of the issues with it. Like, being able to reset to the first step would be absolutely wonderful. And in the circuit, it can be done. It just would be quite a complicated daughter board that you'd have to solder to the back of it. But it has crossed my mind as being one of those modifications that could be an item on a shop. But of course, then you've got the problem of how do you get the, you either got to decide whether you're going to modify a front panel, which then definitely puts it out of the realm of someone to buy, or you have to take up some HP with a jack that's a reset output, and then you start thinking, well, maybe it should be a whole module with that thing in it, and then GP82 next to it as one module. Yeah, my mind just goes wild with possibilities, and we start getting into decision paralysis. But,
I reckon if I was going to look for a mod for the 182, it would have to be a reset mod.
Yeah,
that would be the first top of the rank mod, because that's the thing that it's missing. It's missing a reset.
I
so
totally agree.
It would probably be quite tricky to do it, but you'd have to, have some logic or something to do it, I reckon.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, but do it. I mean, if you can, Chris, do one, man. Do one. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, it would. It's on the long list of projects that I wish I could.
So when they reissue these things, why do you think they didn't add cool stuff like that, like a reset, to make it just a little bit better?
Sad.
Well, that's what the 185 was from Rick, because he actually did it. He did it. The original 185 was actually a System 100M module, the original one, and there was a reset in there. I'll bring up a graphic for you. I'll show you. I've got it in here somewhere. I don't want I want the System 100M one. Don't know why it's not showing me that. We'll go with the Google Images version. Yeah, this has got enough information on this image to show it. Hopefully it's not WebP.
WebP.
It's WebP. I've asked the guys that make vMix to, there's people who have actually backed me up to it, that, like, why are you guys not supporting WebP. It's been around for ages.
Mhm.
It might be a licensing thing. I'm not sure the reason why. They might have to pay a license to put it in their software. I'm not sure. But anyway, I've just got it's just a quick click on my computer now to do it. So it's not too bad. All right, so there's the RIC Modular 185. This is the one that went in the original System 100M, okay? And you've got the reset on the start-stop button there. But where's the reset input? Okay, maybe this didn't have it. I was under the impression this had it.
Certainly has the button.
So they just give you a button.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So is the other one.
Well, it could be. Let's see, backward, forwards.
The original 182 has start-stop.
AHB.
There's a reset
Yeah,
button,
right.
but there's not actually a CV control for it. But then again, you could plumb something into that, couldn't you? Because it is a push. It is a momentary button, right?
Yeah.
So the logic's
That would be
there.
a lot easy to modify.
Yeah, the logic's there anyway. That's the main point. I thought there was actually a CV input for it. My bad. Well, the one that there is a CV input for is actually the Metropolis from IntelliJ.
Well, are you interested in hearing technically why I think it's possible to reset the 182?
Yeah, tell us. I mean, unless you don't want to give it away.
No,
Tell us.
no. It's not really a big deal. You know the last step function in it. You can set the number of steps.
Mm-hmm.
So you got step number. If you set it to step 1, what does it do? It plays step 1 repeatedly.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is wire into that switch your reset signal to hit that step 1.
To hit the step 1, yeah.
Correct.
If that's an option on the board, yeah.
Well, there's a switch. The switch is on the back of the board. That's for sure. I've checked it.
Okay.
So
Sorry, just
it's a matter. Yeah, it depends on whether you can override a logic signal that's already driving it high or something like that. It gets a bit more complex than that, but in principle, sounds like it's possible.
so on the 185 version that was made by IntelliJ, which is called the Metropolis. You guys know it, right? Need to put the telestrator on. So there is your reset there. I'll draw on it. There is your reset there. So in a sense, what you would do is if you've got like a module like a PAMS, right? PAMS has got like a run output on one of the expander modules you can get for it, called the what's it called? The PX or something. PX2, I think it's called. So if you get a PAMS new workout or a PAMS Pro workout, I don't think you need to get the expander for PAMS Pro.
The slim one.
I think it's
the slim one.
Yeah, the slim one. I think it's already on the Pro,
Yeah.
built into the Pro, by the way. That's what you would connect that up to on your Metropolis. So the Metropolis is basically a 182 sequencer, just with a whole bunch more features. That's all it is. It's got some digital logic in there. It's got some presets. It's got the ratcheting. I mean, really, it's kind of expensive. You're missing out on a hell of a lot of functionality, but you could just get Chris's module and your 182, and you've got most of that. And if you can make a mod for the 182,
it would, possible. As I said, it's a case of once you start taking up HP with another whole, it makes sense to make it part of the module, and then you get a modification with your module.
is there room on the module? Damn good question.
Possibly. It's been a while since I've looked at it.
Here it is here.
Yes.
On your
There
screen,
is.
right
It would
about...
obviously mean a re-layout of parts of the board, but it is possible to fit another jack in there.
Oops. Where is the 182? Up here, up, Miss Jane, up, left.
So underneath the gate out is the obvious place to put another jack. Is that enough though? Do we need 2 jacks? Cause
I would put it to the left or the right of the start-stop button. And I would have...
and rearrange the rest of the module so that it was in the... Oh, okay, yeah.
because you've
the
got.
gate out to the right. Mm.
Well, no, you're just having a reset there. I would
Pop
have
out
one
to the
one as a push button, and then on the let's telestrate this if we can. Ha ha ha! Delete that. So you'd have one there, and that can be a button.
Oh, you're talking about the modifying the 182 itself.
Yeah.
Not the GP82. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
misunderstood.
And then you could have a CV there,
Yeah, no.
and that could be
Yes.
reset, and that could be
Yes,
reset. CV,
Well,
something like that.
nice. Welcome to Ranzee's synth redesign show.
Well, there's room for it, isn't there? I just don't know if there's
Exactly.
room underneath the board
Panel,
to do it.
yeah, the panel would be interesting. I haven't pulled it
What's that?
apart.
What's the
yet to see
Telestrator app
it.
called again?
Oh, it's part of vMix, mate.
Oh, it's part of VMix. Okay.
Yeah, it's part of vMix. But you could
'Cause,
run.
StreamYard doesn't have that.
No, but you can run. There are Telestrator standalone Telestrator apps for OBS. I was looking into
OBS,
it. Yeah, and they just weren't good. So this one came with one of the updates that is built into the vMix licensing. So for me, it's good
They
enough.
don't do WebP.
But they don't do WebP, yeah. And there's no updates. I actually probably need to check into it to see if there's been any updates. There's been no updates for a while on this. They've got some massive cool features on this software, this streaming software. Like if we were doing sports, we'd have instant replays. We could do instant replays with patching. I literally have these instant replay buttons I could press. It's insane what you can do with this software.
We could have done that when I had a massive collapse of modular.
Oh yeah, when the stuff fell down.
Could have fell down. Instant replay, Chris nearly crashing his modular.
I mean, for me, Andy, the big thing this software does is the MIDI shortcut implementation and activators, it's called. And so I can plug any MIDI controller. I've got the APC MIDI here next to me. You guys have seen this a million times. I've shown it to you. Which controls to show this thing here, right? And I can just press buttons anytime I like. So there's bang, there's the Zoom link. I just allocate the MIDI. You just go MIDI listen, and it says, right, press a button on your MIDI controller, off you go. And then what does that do? It does that. And then because this has got little backlit pads, you can actually set the colors on this too, which is pretty cool. So
by the way, I found this thing called Video Chalk on the Windows App Store. So, have you tried that one, Video Chalk?
No, I haven't seen that one. Yeah. There you go.
It's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what does it just overlay onto your desktop? Does it? Is that what it does?
I didn't read the blurb, but it looks decent. So,
what you need is a Telestrator for
it
OBS.
says Telestrator. It's called the Telestrator, but it's
so there's a WebRT Telestrator for OBS.
Yeah, I don't use a StreamYard though. I only use OBS once in a while. So
It's free. There you go. Just go. If you guys are using OBS, just type in WebRTC Telestrator, and you're in. You got it.
WebRTC.
It's free. You don't need to go and buy massive, huge licenses like I did, like a fool. No, I'm not a fool. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so it very slow on the news, unless you're into software. Now, software-wise, there was quite a bit of news software-wise.
Board of microwave.
Lots of firmware updates, right?
Okay.
But one of the ones that I thought was actually there is a bit of news. The Patchworks in Seattle closed. That's kind of sad.
no.
Yeah, they ran a GoFundMe earlier this year, and they raised like $30,000, and that still wasn't enough to keep them afloat. So, excuse me. I don't know what they used if they gave that $30,000 back, or if that just went to the fairies. I'm not sure. But the problem is it's a brick and mortar business, right? It's a bit like Perfect Circuit. Perfect Circuit have got to really push a lot of different things to keep themselves afloat. So they've got to have a big social media presence. They've got to run the secondhand shop. They've got to sell to the world.
Live demos. Yeah.
If they didn't do that, they'd probably fall prey to this sort of problem as well. But what they're
They're
saying,
going to have
interestingly,
podcasters do live shows there too on their own channels, which is a smart idea too.
they let them in, yeah. What they're saying with the
That's cool.
Patchworks guys is they reckon that they feel that some of the reason, not all of the reasons, but some of the reasons why they closed was because of the Trump tariffs.
Yeah. A lot of foreign modules. We had a module place in San Jose. I never got a chance to visit because by the time I heard about it, it was closed.
Yeah.
So there's one in San Francisco called Noise Robot Speak, which is really good, but it's tiny.
I haven't heard of that.
I know.
Okay.
Noise Bug in Pomona is really good too. So it's Noise Bug.
Noise Bug
and,
I've heard of.
Perfect Circuit.
Yeah, Noise
Yeah,
Bug.
those are really good.
Switched on in Houston, not Houston, Austin. Austin is good. They're good guys. Even Syntor, the guys at Syntor, they're actually pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
They just do a lot of repairs and stuff. But they will, if you send them an email and say, even if I was in Australia, and I said, look guys, I'm looking for an ARP 2600, they'll source you one. They'll literally source you one, and they'll connect someone to you. They'll receive the gear. They'll do a refresh on it depending on your budget. They'll refresh the whole thing from A to B, or they'll just do a basic clean or whatever you want to do, and then they'll send it to you, and they'll take a fee, and then they'll take a cut on the transaction.
Do you know the name Peter Grenader? You've heard him before? Kind of famous modular guy. He had a shop above Noisebug where he made those little special modules. Alessandro Cortini had a Halliburton flight case with all the modules in there. It was a really cool system for a while, a mobile a eurorack system made by Grenader. It's really, really cool, but it didn't last. Too expensive.
How much did Alessandro do modular when in the early days of 9 Inch Nails? Did he do a lot?
I don't think much. No,
I think
don't much.
it's kind of after, wasn't it?
He got into Buchla later. He's way into Buchla, and he
Yeah.
uses OP1 also too. So,
Since he went solo, right? I reckon.
yeah,
Wasn't
Nick
it?
Bat has that great interview with his cats in his studio and the different Buchlas.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Trent that broke a DX7? It was Trent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He does every show. That was their stage show. Was every show they would break a DX7 on stage.
Jesus, that is sad. That is actually pretty sad.
He's
Yes.
a bit, yeah, he's probably not proud of that.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess for the haters it was cool, right? So-
Yeah, no, but yeah.
and they were so plentiful, right?
It's
they were
very
just
rough and
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, people
they were
smash
a
those
lot
fancy
to
guitars, right? So
Exactly, yeah.
the other thing too was the Astrolab got a new firmware. If you're into Astrolab, they got firmware 1.5 that's out, adds V Collection 11 support if you're interested in that, which includes the Jupiter 8000V. What else was there? What was the other thing that I saw that was kind of cool software wise?
Did you just talk about the Waldorf microwave? No?
I didn't, but wasn't there an iOS thing that Waldorf released earlier? Oh, the Strike Fet was for the iOS. That's right.
Yes.
yeah,
That's right, yes.
Microwave came on iOS a few months ago. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
They
They also have Blofeld, I think. I think Blofeld came out.
Blofeld,
before.
yeah, I remember seeing that as well.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a lot of software stuff happening. If you guys want me to do software stuff, let me know because I'm happy to do it. I just I don't know. Have I been more of a hardware guy in the past? Probably, right? So I'm probably not a huge amount of the the software stuff, but I don't mind doing it. As long as I can deliver something that's adding value to what's already been delivered with the other shows during the week. Yeah, I mean, like the other, what have I done? I like the Zills Lab stuff. I did the CS80 there. It's called the 80 that I did, and then I thought that was an excellent version as a VST of a CS80. We did, the VCV rack one. That was good. Oh, but speaking of VCV rack, I forgot about this actually. When we were doing the news segment today, I completely forgot to tell you guys. I'm glad I reminded myself just then that Hügelton Instruments, the compound oscillator, has a VCV rack version.
Wow. Okay.
So, and then let me just quickly tell you how
That's
much it is.
interesting,
Yeah.
There's so much VCV rack stuff if you want to pay for it. There's so many modules. It's crazy.
Let me just go into
Yeah,
here.
seems to be a marketing philosophy now to put your module in VCV rack. If people like it, they'll buy the hardware. Seems to
I mean,
be.
Erica has a lot of stuff on there.
I kind of feel like it's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it probably works. Yeah.
Are you serious? Is this free? It's free. That is cool. We can chuck this in. Hang on. Wait. I think it's free. There it is there. I'm going to just quickly check this if it's free, right? I'm not going to do that in front of you guys because I can just open VCV Rack on my computer now. Geez, we're running over time on the show today, guys.
Do they have a soft GP82 for the...
I have to admit, the thought did cross my mind. I wonder if it would work. Do they have a 182 even? They probably do have a 182. I have to check. Google it.
Library. Browse VCV library. Which I've just done. Come on, guys. Be nice. Be good to me. Brand. Hügelton. Wow, there's so many brands in here. It's unbelievable. There it is. Hügelton. Add. Okay. I've added it. It didn't ask me to pay. That's always a good sign. And then I go
And
library.
of course, my rack is a subset of VCV rack on iOS. So
Querying for updates. Close and relaunch VCV Rack to load the new ones. Doing it now. Is it doing it? Some software doesn't do that, hey, when you ask it to relaunch. VCV Rack. Let's relaunch it.
Still amazes me how much software still says you must reboot
Library.
your computer.
Yeah. How do I select these things from the library? That's the question I want to do.
There's no 182s on VCV Rack, but there's a lot of step sequences. So I don't think you're short of options. Can't tell what's paid and what's not though. They don't really have a... They should have a dollar sign on each one. If it...
In some cases, you probably don't need. Do you know what I mean? You probably don't need. Once you get it in VCV Rack, you've got access to it some other way, right?
Well, you can fire up Ableton, etc.
All right, let's go to here. So go to brand. We should have Hügelton Instruments. There it is. Add it. Let's add it here. There she
So
is.
that kind of tells us a bit more, makes us a bit more informed about the hardware version, doesn't it? That, you know, obviously they don't, you know, the fact that they've given away the, as such, the software side of it, the digital side of it for free, means they're not being precious about that side of it. It is all about the tactile control and the use inside your hardware modular system. We can't hear that, by the way, Rant. So
Oh, no, it's not making a sound. I'm just mucking around with this. And I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, it's doing sine waves. Everybody's friend. Anyway, the cool thing about it is you can put it in VCV Rack.
Yeah. Well,
And
God, are we going to have to start doing this for every module we show now? Check first whether it's in VCV Rack.
I do put it in my notes if they but if the manufacturer mentions it, I will.
Exactly.
I'll put it in my notes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's a tip to the manufacturers. If you do have that situation, please put it in prominent place in your spiel, because otherwise you won't get it in your media releases quite so easily.
Yeah, but that's good though, because in a way we can fiddle with this, and it is a digital module anyway. So logic wise, it's not hard to code it up and put it in VCV rack. That sense, depending on the type of code. If it's C++, it's pretty straightforward, right? Drop in the algorithms and the functions and the methods and all that sort of stuff, and away you go.
And you can plumb it through with your connection modules, right? The FH2 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. So I can plumb this
into and out of the box
using the expert sleeper stuff that I've got. I honestly think you guys, if you're getting into Eurorack, do get yourself a DC coupled interface from your Eurorack into.
It'd be nice.
It's a smart thing to do. I think it's kind of like, for me, it'd be one of the first things I would recommend someone to get. Like everyone says, "Oh, get a make noise math, get this, get that." I would say get yourself some sort of connection that gets your Eurorack connected to your computer. Not just an audio connection. You want to have like a connection where you can control things via CV. You don't have.
Don't forget the Stormy Panel too. You got to get a Stormy Panel for your module. So.
Chris, I reckon you should start releasing those.
You reckon I should start doing them? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a few other ones involving.
Do the Epstein one instead. That was better. The Epstein photo. Yeah.
The Epstein photo. Well, he's playing that down at the moment, isn't he, Trump?
Of course.
He's pretending that he's
suing.
He's
suing.
He's scared. He's really scared about it.
Whatever it is.
Oh.
And his base is crumbling over it somewhat. It's funny.
Well, he's what do you call it? The Make America Great campaign.
Margas.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
The Margas.
No, it's MAGA, Make America Dishonest Again. So.
I just honestly right now I would hate to be a politician, seriously, in any country. And in fact there was an interesting thing. I was listening to the social media news about. They were talking about in some countries they want to increase the wages of politicians to attract people to actually do it. And then the problem with that is it's very, very negative response from the community, because people are like, I don't want to pay these bastards any more money. They get enough
right,
as it is.
and it already attracts horrible people.
Catch-22.
Yeah. So you actually
they're already attracted to those positions.
And usually the people that go for politicians are lawyers. I don't have anything against lawyers, by the way. I think a lot of lawyers deserve to, do what they do because they've studied hard. It takes quite a lot of education to become a good lawyer.
Yeah, but they know all the loopholes, right? That's the problem.
That's true. But a lot of them are litigators, are lawyers, right? So you, in a sense, you don't get a lot of politicians that aren't lawyers. You get a lot that are. And what we're doing is we're running businesses. Countries are businesses, right? We're running businesses based on law, not on business practice. And one of the things that attracted a lot of Americans to Trump was the fact that he's a businessman.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a good businessman, and there's a lot of people that dislike him and things, but the fact that he is a businessman, it actually becomes kind of rare when you think about a lot of the other presidents are actually like, you go all the way back to Ronald Reagan, I think, that's kind of the previous example, right?
He was an actor.
He was an actor, yeah.
Kind of an actor.
But coming from a different background or profession, yeah.
Do you know the old joke, what do you call 50 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean?
You tell us.
A good start.
Oh,
a good start? I would have said ballast, but...
Littering?
So what's the other one? Some of the friends I used to have are lawyers.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly,
the other one
they're necessary. You have to have them. It's,
When you think about it, though,
just lawyer jokes.
The point is that
it's like insurance. You have to have it.
The point is, no one really wants to do this job, do they? When you think about it, so if someone came up to me and said, "Look, I'll give you $400,000 a year. You can be a politician. You can help run your country. You can help make it great again." Whatever you want to say, right? Whatever bullshit you want to spin. I don't even think I would probably say, "Nah, it's stuff that." bother that. Because
But he's a narcissist, so he loves it.
there's people that do love it, aren't there?
Yes.
Yeah. They love the show pony stuff, don't they? Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. For me, it's a no. I'm happy just to sort of sit in my little synth cave here and make music. Hey, Darren.
Yeah, exactly. Just hide away. Yeah.
I've not made any. Well, talking of that, because I'll have to go shortly anyway.
So do I.
Next week I'll try and get on the show, but I'll only be on it for an hour, probably. Depends, because next week is Movement 81 are playing at Stafford,
Cool.
at the top of the world. So I'm one of four who are supporting them there. So
Oh,
if I'll
nice.
get down to Stafford. It is supposedly
Awesome.
going to be streamed, but it just depends on whether Simon Greatbatch can get it streamed or not. If not, then you have to be there. So
Good on you,
I'll try
Simon.
and get on the show before we. Yeah, so it's Stafford, top of the world. I think starts about 7. It's free now. They've just done the sort. Well, I say it's a UK tour. It's not a full UK tour, but they've done UK paid lives. A small tour, I'd say. So they're coming up to Stafford to do, and it's free as well. So they're coming up to Stafford to do their last gig. And there's a few of us. So there'll be me, Andy and Grace, Die Dan Die, Simon, a couple of us supporting them. So if you can get down to top of the world, Stafford, and like I say, it's supposed to be streamed live, but that's only a possibility. It's not 100% definite. So if you're not there, you'll miss it. But yeah, so that's why I won't be on the show.
Stafford's near Manchester, or where is that?
Nah, near Birmingham.
No, it's in between Birmingham and Manchester.
Peaky Blinders, Birmingham.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah.
It's on the road, on the main highway. You go through Stoke on Trent, and you go down.
Yeah. I'd say it's about halfway down between Manchester and Birmingham, roughly. Probably closer to Birmingham than it is to Manchester, but about an hour away or just over.
It's definitely closer to Birmingham than it is to Manchester. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I remember going through it. I don't think I've actually stopped there though. I remember going through it though, because there's a castle. There's a famous castle there, the Stafford Castle.
Yeah. It's quite nice. It's a nice place, Stafford.
It's a ruin.
In fact, it's not far. It's not far from the railway station, top of the world. So it's basically, you can jump on a train, get on the railways, get off the train, and it's basically, I'd say, about a 5-minute walk from the railway station. 10 at max. So
it's a cool part of England though. You can do that. You can do that kind of. You could do a kind of. If you ever wanted to go and visit, you could go and visit Darren up in Manchester. Go to Liverpool, where the real football team is, and drop down to Birmingham. Go up. Then you could go back up and go across to Nottingham and then up to Sheffield and visit Andy. And, it's kind of a good spot. It's kind of a cool place.
Whistle stop tour.
If you wanted to, you'd go further down, though, and go and visit Ian in Frome. So he's a bit further down. It's like you got to go all the way down Bath way, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a long way.
Yeah. But you can always go to Bath as well, have a visit at the baths, the Roman baths.
If I go over to Kent's, a must visit. Got to go to Kent's.
Oh, he's in the Greater London area, Kent. So you have to go to London.
And I love dogs, so that's amazing. So.
Yeah. Yep. No, you have to visit Kent, but that's the thing. You'd probably end up flying. You'd probably go and land in Heathrow, no doubt, if you're coming from the US. Although you could be Gatwick, couldn't you, Darren? Depends on which airport.
Well, Simon's in the chat now and just saying he's saying it will be streamed somehow. So
Stafford is the center of the universe. Good on you, Simon.
Yes. That's the spirit.
it's the center, yeah.
It is the center of the emo world.
All I remember
it's
is
a great place.
I remember checking out
really, really good place. Great sound system. It has a LED wall at the back.
What's the name of the venue?
And you might top of the world. It's if you watch Imam streams, there's a few Stafford.
There's quite a few Stafford imams.
Oh, okay, I know what that is.
So yeah, so it's definitely worth a trip, even if you're just in the area, and it's free. So I mean, what you're getting a massive gig and it's free, so you can't argue with that.
Hey, what happened to the VMOM guy? He was doing all those virtual EMOMs and then he stopped. Do you know what happened to those? I did a few of them, but I don't know why he stopped doing it.
You mean Jamie?
No, some other guys were running this thing called VMOM, virtual EMOM.
Oh, okay.
And you either could do it live if you have a good connection or you submit a video.
Oh, oh God.
There's a couple guys running.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really, yeah, they're cool guys.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, guys, we're gonna have to end the stream because it's been,
We've gone over time.
I've got to
Slow news week. We've done.
I've got to get up at 6 a.m., which is only 5.5 hours time.
Back to soccer coaching, is it?
Oh yeah, back to soccer coaching. Yeah, I've got seven or eight
good
games.
D games unpunished.
Not too many. I've got 7 or 8 games to go, so it'll be over soon. Yeah.
Hey.
All right, boys. Thanks very much, Andy and Darren and
Thanks,
Chris and all the chatties.
Good times.
Thank you very much. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah.
Press record.
Get down to Stafford.
Get down to Stafford, yeah. Go and say good day to Simon. See you, boys. See you later. And ladies, catch you later.
Take care.